Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wrestling School Podcast, the coolest podcast on the planet for all the wrestling hype. I'm Sancho West. This is Santi Zap. He is still in Colombia, and I'm just about to get ready. I'm almost there. I'm almost on 100%. But regardless, it is the Wrestling School Podcast. Thank you so much. And hey, Santi, what happened this past Saturday? What went down, my friend?
The main event.
Ooh.
Saturday night's main event. But yeah, it's my last day here, folks. So say goodbye. You know, as we go on, we remember. I know that you're going to miss this backdrop here so much. But yeah, Saturday night's main event has come and gone. And there are a lot of people that are divided about this show. All right. Oh. Some people are mad that this was a show with commercials and that it was 2 hours long. Why couldn't this be a PLE? It's like, I don't know, dude. Maybe because it wasn't a PLE. You're asking for something that it wasn't. And some people just felt like it was filler, like it was a glorified house show. I side with the camp, and I thought it was good. I thought it was a good show for what it was. It had commercials that were advertised, that were supposed to be there. I think so many people just sort of created these ridiculous expectations of what this show was going to be, and they set themselves up for failure. They set themselves up for disappointment when I feel like what we got was a perfectly fine wrestling show.
Oh, boo you. Boo! Look at you. Hey, how much Triple H paying you, man? Let me know.
Oh, not enough.
Not enough, which is nothing. I think for me, I'm going to represent the other camp, but I think a different angle to the entire thing. For me, it didn't feel like we were matched up to what we were building to for the Saturday Night Main Event. Everything leading up to Saturday Night Main Event had a different kind of vibe to what we got at the actual Saturday Night Main Event, and it felt like we were in a different timeline. It felt like to me that the WWE was like a farmer at a farmer's market showing off their wares, showing off the greatest of the produce that they had, not necessarily there to further the stories that they were establishing beforehand. And that's why it felt so jarring to me to see the results, to see that Gunther obliterated Damian and Finn seemingly, and where Damian was being built up to be the Street King, to be the future feud for Gunther, and then to get squashed like that against Phil Balor. That's where I get that house vibes, where it felt like all the champions were OP, like they got that house buff, and they're all of a sudden going to be do some crazy things. The same thing with Io Sky and Liv Morgan. Great match, but I was like, where's that EO that we're being built up? The EO coming in and doing all this and saving it and being that new face that was going to be something exciting to see, a legitimate threat to the title. It didn't plan out to be. There's just so many things in that Saturday Night Main Event, just from the aspect of those things that I mentioned, and then even when Liv and Rhea just had the stare down, what it felt like, Santi, is it wasn't for us. It wasn't for the WWE fan that watches Mondays and Fridays, going into that Saturday Main Event, that watched the PLEs. It was for that NBC crowd to say, hey, look at what we've been working on. Look at these superstars that we have. These are our champions. They are great. These are their finishers. And you can even tell from the commentary, they were educating the audience. Oh, that's so-and-so's finishers. That's what they do. This is what we call it. This is a way for the WWE to interject themselves into the mainstream and to let everybody know what they have. And at Sacrifice, there was EO, Gunther, Finn, KO. Like, there were so many people that got sacrificed during the broadcast of Saturday Night Main Event.
Wow. Yeah, we completely disagree. I thought that EO Sky versus Liv Morgan match was the best Liv Morgan has looked since winning the championship. That is the best that I've seen her look as a champion. And for once, I was like, oh, we don't need Rhea Ripley to be fully attached to the storyline that involves Liv Morgan and the Women's World Championship. In fact, out of that match, I came out saying, I wished Rhea Ripley had been on the sidelines a little bit longer so we could get this Liv Morgan versus the other members of the women's roster. I thought that, yes, the match was short, was 9 minutes, but it was a great showcase of Liv Morgan specifically. I know that there's more for Io Sky to showcase because we know the body of work that Io Sky can provide. But to me, this was actually a bit of a coming out party for Liv Morgan. I think that that's the best that she's looked since winning the championship. I almost wish that she could have more of these non-Rhea Ripley matches and feuds leading up to a big Rhea Ripley match so that she can have a prestigious feeling championship reign about her. Because right now, unfortunately, it feels like it's a little bit too late to try and do that, because it just sort of feels like Liv Morgan's championship reign needs Rhea Ripley, and that's what they've created. Had they been doing more matches like this for Liv Morgan, this Io Sky, maybe a match against other members of the women's roster that haven't really gotten a chance, then I feel like this championship run of Liv Morgan doesn't have to have Rhea Ripley. It just can have Rhea Ripley. But unfortunately, it needs Rhea Ripley. I thought that match was great. Sami Zayn versus Drew McIntyre was way better than I thought it was going to be. Way more competitive than it ended up being as well.
Well, that's the point I'm trying to say. I agree on the point that Liv Morgan looked great, but it kind of took Io Sky, it downgraded Io a little bit. Not nerve. They didn't bury her. I'm just saying it wasn't the Io that I've seen week in and week out. The same thing with Sami Zayn. That's not Sammy Hogan. Brother, that's not Sammy Hogan out there who is resilient. The dude could be in 5-6 ankle locks. That is a different
That's
Sammy.
what you like. That's what you wanted to see more of that?
No, I'm just saying, like, at least the Sammy I know would have an opportunity to kick out, be a lot smarter than to fall for the oldest trick in the book where he rolls into the ring and eats a Claymore, which was something that LA Knight falls for a million times. But that's just what I'm trying to say is, like, it was an opportunity to show everybody that, hey, we got this dude named Drew McIntyre. He is 7 feet tall, and you can't teach though. He's just a guy out there that he's our new focal point. He's our new heel. He's a monster, and look at him beat up this Sami Zayn, who is a baby face that everyone falls in love with. It just, like I said, it just didn't sync up. I could appreciate it. I could acknowledge that the match were really nice, but it just felt like I was in a different timeline than I was experiencing months prior to Saturday Night Main's event, which we already talked about in Wrestling is Cool, though, that it seemed to siphon so many great matchups in Survivor Series. If these matches happen at Survivor Series versus Saturday Night Main Events, there'd be a different completely vibe, maybe the same outcome, but a different way that we would get there.
Of course. I mean, they would be different. They'd have more time. They'd be able to do things that they weren't able to do on this show. There wouldn't be commercial breaks. Of course they'd be different. Of course they'd be better. But that's like telling me.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, a commercial aside,
that I would be wet.
No. But saying like, commercials aside, it'd be better. Like it's not a time aspect.
You're not the one complaining about commercials.
No.
99% of the people are. 99% of the people that are complaining about this show are complaining about commercials.
Did you get picture in picture?
I only saw picture in picture for the last match.
Yeah, every commercial we had a picture in picture. Essentially.
I only saw picture in picture for the last match. Listen, I thought that the show was fine. I think if anything, here's like my genuine complaint about this show.
Sure.
They tried to do too much in 2 hours. This should have been 3-4 matches at most. And the reason I say this isn't because I want to give the matches more time, because I feel for how long the show was, the matches were perfectly long. Like they were as long as they needed to be, in my opinion. The problem was that this wasn't a WWE show that we would know, right? Like, for example, there were no interferences. Like, how many of us were expecting Dominic Mysterio to interfere, right?
We predicted
but if you were to interfere, then all of a sudden the new people watching at home be like, who is that? Why is he interfering? I don't understand this. Why wouldn't the ref just do something about this? They'd start to ask too many questions, right? You'd start to overcomplicate things for what is supposed to be the lowest common denominator viewer, because you're trying to cast the fishing net to try and find new wrestling fans, and overcomplicating things with Dominic Mysterio interfering, with Tiffany Stratton cashing in. Holy man, that would have been impossible to explain to a brand new fan that's never watched wrestling before. So these things that we would be typically accustomed to expecting in a wrestling show that is designed for the existing wrestling fan, we were devoid of those things. For example, we were devoid of backstage segments. We were devoid of promos. We were devoid of the things that would make a wrestling show. Granted, a lot of the times we don't have those things on PLEs, but this wasn't that. This was a TV show. And when we have a TV show, when we have commercials, I'm expecting more of an enhanced Raw or SmackDown, basically. And this tried to be a bit of a weird hybrid, and it was almost forced to be a weird hybrid because they forced themselves into this corner of doing 5 matches in 2 hours. That was always going to be such a difficult task to pull off, to make sure that the show could breathe. Because if you even think about it, the Pat McAfee return was rushed. The stuff with Joe Tessitore and Jesse the Body Ventura, they needed to get through that stuff quickly. And I feel like that's the stuff that makes wrestling magical. not just what happens in ring. And I feel like they tried to showcase just the in-ring of professional wrestling rather than the greater characters that wrestling has in general. And I feel like that might be one of the things that I think it is a fair concern, right? Like, we didn't get to see the true Io Sky, the one that you know and love. And it's not just that, right? We didn't get to see the true everybody because there are these time constraints. My logic is this: what we were able to be given with the time that we were given, with the time constraints that we were given, I was perfectly fine with it. I am not on the camp that this was bad. Can you really genuinely tell me that this show was bad? Like, can you point out a match that, aside from it not being long enough, was bad? Because I can't. The worst match was the most memorable one. Chelsea Green and Michin. That was the one that actually like moved the needle. But from an in-ring perspective, all the other matches were fine.
I just don't. It just hurts my feeling to see Damian just power bomb into the stairs like nothing, and then Finn missile drop kick into, the drop kick into the corner, into just being another pin for Balor.
Well, what was the alternative?
The alternative was to be like a close win for Gunther. I mean, going up against two Judgment Day, two former champions, for Gunther just to get his groove back by just destroying Judgment Day like that.
But that's what people wanted. People wanted him to get his groove back.
I wanted him to win,
groove, bro.
You just call him Cusco? That's what you just did.
That was his story arc, to go from the ring bitch back to the ring general.
The ring llama into the ring general. Oh my God. No, I like I said, it's not bad. It was just different. It was just different from what I expected. Now, the good thing is what we saw was Chelsea Green winning, which I'm surprised that she was able to win when she's wearing the all white ring gear. I was like, that's a bad sign. That's a bad sign. But what I liked about that match was that's where the shenanigans were. Just a little bit of a touch with Piper being involved, where Piper just standing on the apron, things of that sort. But it was a great moment. And I think that, for me, saved the show. That, to me, made this a good moment, because it was Chelsea Green getting her flowers. It was Chelsea Green on a network television for the United States becoming a champion. And, hey, as of now, the longest reigning women's United States champion.
Facts. And here's another little fact. The only husband and wife to ever hold United States championships.
Yeah.
Her and Matt Cardona.
Yeah. So as every day when you wake up in the morning, you do your little routine. I don't know what you do. Are you a cold plunger? You get in a little cold ice bath?
I don't, but I do cold showers in the morning.
You are Canadian. Is that something that you pride yourself in, that you have a high cold tolerance? Is that something built into your DNA?
Yeah, it's so funny. Yeah. Like, here in Colombia, people are like, "Oh, it's so windy. It's so cold. I need to bundle up." And I'm like, "Bunch of bitches. This is nothing."
You seem to say. So what I wanted to tell you, though, is, hey, every time you wake up, know that this is the longest reign of the United States Women's Champion ever. And it's Chelsea Green, red, white, and green. The belt looked great on her. It was a fun match. The ending was great. The unprettier off the reversal off the top rope
cool.
was cool. Really sick. I had a moment of doubt when she got hit with the, eat defeat, and all of a sudden I was like, oh no, she's very far from those ropes, and she's not rolling out of the ring.
I said the same thing. I was like, I don't know that she's got enough legs to get to the rope.
And then she started to scoot a little bit. I was like, come on, Chelsea, you're almost there. And then all of a sudden she turned her hips a little bit. I was like, oh, thank God. But that's a great way to protect Michin, her finisher, eat defeat, or AKA the Lost in the Woods. But I thought Michin looked good, and I think Michin would be a great first rivalry for her to chase. And I think the United States women's title is on a road to success. I think they have to keep the belt on Chelsea till WrestleMania, though. They can't hand it back. It can't be a hot potato belt. And I know people want to see any given Monday or any given Friday the belts change. But for Chelsea Green, she could put on banger matches as Reclusa-esque. If she could hold on to that belt as long as possible and have gimmick matches where imagine if she, like, all of a sudden the next PLE, she has a ladder match. Because she could do it, right? She could do a ladder match, and she could have a successful win. And she keeps building the legitimacy of the United States title with great matches like that. She drops it at WrestleMania. I think we're on a good road for that title, sir.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think ultimately it was the right choice. the beauty about that match is that it was like, and I said this on Twitter, it was the rare win-win scenario for everybody. Like, had Michin won, I'd also be sitting here and saying, this is great. Like, they both deserve to win it. They got the final right. So good for Chelsea Green. I'm also really happy that Michin is in this spot now. If you compare where she was at this exact same time last year, just basically not being used at all. And now fast forward a year and she's in a Saturday night's main event on the most memorable match of the card, in my opinion, at least the biggest needle mover. But yeah, congratulations to Chelsea Green. I agree with you that she should hold to Mania. And frankly, Chelsea Green is one of those characters that her losing at WrestleMania is kind of perfect for her as well.
And Piper is going to be a great enforcer. I think a better enforcer than Raquel, whatever would be with Liv Morgan. I feel like Raquel always takes 3 steps back. I'm still bummed that she lost that Monday night, and she's not going to be in the IC title finals.
Dude, she lost so easily, too.
I know.
I really thought Rhea Ripley was going to get involved in that match. Kind of like how Bianca Belair was the obvious favorite in her match, but something external forced her out of the match, which was the attack of Jade Cargill. I thought
it's not just something; it's like a major thing.
Yes, something major. I thought something like that was going to happen for Raquel Rodriguez. Something involving Rhea Ripley, maybe Rhea Ripley chasing Liv Morgan backstage, and Raquel's like, "Oh no!" and has to run back to save the day. I was expecting that, but what we ended up getting was Zoe Stark winning her match.
Don't.
Hang on. Hayden Carter looked amazing.
Yes, I agree.
Holy smokes. She was, to me, I was rooting for her to win. I was like, something new, something different, a different flavor, because she looked amazing in that. But PFC to the moon. I've been telling you guys.
No, you haven't. No,
yes,
you haven't. No,
every single week. No, I've been behind PFC. PFC is going to be running Monday Night Raw, just like they've been saying.
What does it stand for?
Pure Fusion Collection?
Collective.
Oh, whatever, bro. Who cares? Who cares?
I knew you'd be wrong. Collection. You're so dumb.
Wait. Okay, so before we fully move on from Saturday night's main event, let's kind of stick in that train because we had... I really thought it was Collection. I really thought it was Collection. I felt so smart too when I said it.
I was waiting for you. I was like, he's close.
I stepped on that landmine. I stepped on that landmine. You set me up so bad.
Giving you the
end of, dude. Yeah, you did.
I did.
The show ends Saturday night's main event. We know with Cody Rhodes retaining against Kevin Owens. Some interesting notes. You know, we talked about how they didn't really go with the full professional wrestling showcase, but there were some wrestling tropes in this match with Kevin Owens having beaten Cody Rhodes. He had him for the 3 count, but there was no ref. We had a couple of nasty ref bumps, might I add. And then Cody Rhodes using the chair and masterfully Jesse the Body Ventura, you see, this guy is a bad man. He's the bad guy. Is Kevin Owens the bad guy? No. It was Cody that used the chair, dude. I love Jesse.
Rhodes that used the chair.
I love Jesse the Body Ventura.
Such a pro,
in that
dude.
Match. I love the old school feel of like having somebody like be so pro heel. I miss that.
But he wasn't obnoxious. He was just perfectly toned. You know, he knew when to step in, knew when to step out. It was smart.
And the things that he would point out are like logical things, right? Like not like unnecessary things, like trying to create fiction out of fact. He literally just like would point out things. It's like, yeah, he's the one that used the chair. He's the bad guy. It's
like a Wade when Wade overdoes it with Dom, right? He's the most beautiful man on the roster. You know, all right, Wade. All right, man. And Corey Graves could be on it too a little bit. All right.
Yeah, it just came so natural to Jesse. It felt like it felt like he hadn't ridden a bike in years, and he just like settled right back in.
He was hitting sky hooks. You know what I mean? Play the Harlem Globetrotter. He's just hitting the hooks like nothing, dude. He was awesome. He definitely brought the vibe, and I was a little bit sad at first. I was like, oh man, I thought this whole thing was that Jesse. Imagine that Jesse the whole time. Granted, he's a little bit up there, but I'm glad they did the old JR thing to bring it in for the main event.
I honestly, after hearing him in the main event, I wish we had him more.
Right?
I wish we had him more. And maybe they'll take that feedback and put him more into the next Saturday night's main event. But what's funny, based on like the reaction of this Saturday night's main event, I mean, I think that next Saturday night's main event kind of has the feeling that it's not this like must-watch TV show, right?
It's in San Antonio too, so
yeah. Like even though like I think I fall in the line that it's good, I don't think that the needle was moved enough where it warrants like me going out of my way to make sure that I watch the show. Like if I miss it, I miss it. It is what it is. I catch up later, which is not how I feel about typical WWE premium live event shows. But this main event here, how do you feel about the way that it all ended? Cody Rhodes winning with the chair. Then we have the pile driver of Kevin Owens attacking Cody Rhodes when he's celebrating, him stealing the winged belt, him arguing with Triple H. I want to hear your thoughts on this.
This seems like a common occurrence with Kevin Owens. Like they decided the best way to build his character is through social media means. Apparently 45 million people posted about this. They had that many views off the Kevin Owens post brawl and things of that sort, and the package pile driver. I like the package pile driver. I mean, it's such much more devastating than a regular pile driver. Like I don't know how they did it so expertly. I mean, they're pros, but I don't know, man. I feel maybe NBC didn't want that level of violence, or like in terms of like someone getting carted off. You know, I know people were like saying, oh, they could have timed it out better and they could have included all this. I mean, seeing Triple H fight Kevin Owens is a big deal, but I think that WWE is in a realm now where they could feel they can make their own splash. They don't need television to make their own splash, and I think they're going to continue trial. They're going to continue exploring this new avenue of social media impact, using our reactions and creating their own fan-driven content. I think that stuff is mint, considering that Netflix is going to be a place where not a lot of casual fans are going to be able to watch. For me, though, I do wish there, like I said, it just didn't feel like the Kevin Owens that was that they were birthing. You know, it wasn't that.
Why are you using that language? Why couldn't you just say the Kevin Owens that was advertised? Why do you have to say the and you did it birthing? What an awful choice of words.
It's not their creation, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. This whole time,
I'm aware what you were trying to tell me.
This is not what
your message came across loud and clear.
And this is what happens when we record late, Santi. It's a Monday night. It is 10:37 p.m.
Birthing.
The birthing of Kevin Owens was not the Kevin Owens monster that was being created, advertised, whatever you want to say. That's not the one. So when the match is trying to match, it doesn't match, brother. What can I say, dude? I thought Kevin Owens was going to be the one that be...
This is match, brother. What was that sentence?
That's what we'd say in my family when things match to my children. Match. It didn't match, okay? It didn't.
Anyways, one of the things I do want to point out...
you're going to be the adult and you're going to come in with your wrestling take that's going to be like, well, let me tell you, actually...
This is actually a good wrestling take. This was genius, because this is a brilliant way to write off Cody Rhodes and write off Kevin Owens. Because, right, Cody Rhodes, he's so injured he can't show up to the next episode of Friday Night SmackDown. Kevin Owens is probably going to be suspended. In this way, you didn't spoil Saturday night's main event with the pre-recorded episode of Friday Night SmackDown. So
true.
It's clever. It's clever that they did this so that they don't have to appear on the show and spoil to us who ended up winning, who ended up walking away with the undisputed title. But
dude,
here's the thing.
Wait, real quick. You say that that's a good play, but you could saw that the risk that they made was Cody saying you deserve it when he got pile driving and getting carted off. Like the New York crowd, the Long Island crowd was chanting "You deserve it" to Cody. That's not what you want.
That.
Yeah,
no, that is not what you want.
That's not what you want, dude. So they could control. God. They could control the messaging because it's off air.
Of course, yeah, and you're not going to hear the "You deserve it" chant.
No.
When they do the vignette and the recap of everything that happened, but it is a clever way to get around an obstacle that they kind of created for themselves in having this pre-recorded episode of Friday Night SmackDown. When do you think that we see Cody Rhodes get birthed again?
Nah, his new birthday would be Raw on Netflix.
You think so? You think that he's held off all the way to Raw Netflix?
Yeah, why not? I mean, that's what, couple weeks. There's no PLEs between. Yeah, I think that'd be the perfect time to bring him back out, and that'd be a great way to transfer portal him over to Raw.
Okay. So if he gets to Raw, like, what do we do there? Because it seemed like Kevin Owens is not done with Cody Rhodes. Clearly not.
Clearly
right? Like,
not. I mean, is he going to run around with the whole fake belt, like the Wing Eagle?
I mean, we've seen that before. We saw it with JBL running around with the old undisputed, like old WWE Championship belt after he lost to Cena, and Cena turned it into the spinner belt. They were both running around with championship belts, so it could be something similar to that. But you talk about Cody going over there with the transfer portal. Does this mean Kevin Owens goes there as well, or is this just more of a free-flowing feud that could go be on SmackDown, could be on Raw as well? It's just the timing of this with, like you said, Raw, Netflix, and Cody Rhodes likely being drafted over there just kind of creates like some weird kind of obstacles as to like where this feud takes place. Maybe it takes place on both shows. Maybe it only takes place on SmackDown. I don't know.
Where's the triple threat? Royal Rumble?
What triple? Oh, the one with likely Randy Orton? I don't know. I mean, maybe it's the next Saturday night's main event. The next Saturday night's main event is before the Royal Rumble. Maybe they want to do a sequel to what happened at Saturday night's main event at the next Saturday night's main event in order to have some continuation, right?
Yeah. Like, hey, people on NBC, this is what you saw like a month ago. Here we go. Let's do it again. That's an interesting thought. I think right now the WWE is in their holiday period. Why not give Cody a break? I mean, we don't let him celebrate Christmas.
No, he's on the John Cena schedule. You want to be on the John Cena schedule?
John never took breaks?
Never, ever. Never took a break. Never. Don't even look it up. It's a fact.
No, I'm not.
Don't look it up. No, it's okay. You don't have to look it up.
I'm not looking up John Cena's schedule. Ladies and gentlemen, now we tune into the John Cena segment of the show from his X account. When the path seems unmanageable, just put focus on climbing the hill in front of you.
What's your hill in front of you right now?
Consistency. That's a tough one for me as a content creator. Understanding where can you thrive and how can you be consistent at it? And considering that, with my schedule as a father, it's very difficult to do as a content creator. Now, there's most content creators that can do it, but they usually involve the family in their content, and I don't want to do that. I think that's always the biggest hill. And I've always learned what I'm working on is like if I just focus on the beginning of content in terms of thumbnail, things of that sort, the beginning of the stream, beginning of a short, and just roll it down the hill, it could go somewhere. It could be a great view avalanche or something that you could just peter out. But if I'm focused on the making of it, then it can't go wrong. That's the only thing I can control. That's my hill. What about you, Santi? What's your hill?
It's funny. I think like my hill is somewhat related to yours, but also not, because consistency is not at all my issue. If anything, I'm like Mr. Consistent.
Yeah.
But I think my hill is finding a balance of providing consistency that keeps my viewers happy while also not burning myself out and killing myself with how much content that I make.
You're almost there.
As much as I do, this is not sustainable for multiple years, even though I've sustained it for a year and a half. But there is a mental block of what's going to happen when I stop doing as much. Maybe this is why people come to me, because I upload so much.
The old mental vortex, right?
Right. So like that, I would say right now, my biggest hill as a content creator is myself and my perception of what value it is that I provide and what it is that people come here for. And if I change something, did I change the thing that people see value in? So jumping into the water and making the change that I know is good for my mental health and my physical health makes me nervous.
I think
that's the hill.
That's the thing, though. You're a multifaceted content creator. You have many different prongs, right? Little column A, column B, column C. You fill different buckets, right? And I think the one that you're questioning the most is your success built on this YouTube consistency versus your stream consistency of just being a watch party god and your TikToks and your reactions, right? That's the 3-prong approach for me, I would say. And then Wrestling is Cool is one that's is forming together. We are forming it. I don't know, man. You have multiple fronts, and I think you're undervaluing the front. That's where I value streaming, because it's like you're alive and you're on here, you're ready to roll type of vibe. And if you can't do it that day, you can't do it. But YouTube is a strength that I feel that it's a beast when it gets fed, dude. It rolls hard, and that's why it's so. What's the word? It's so. The word I'm looking for, like, it's so easy to fall in love with feeding it, right? Because it just starts turning. Personally, in my journey, when I was met with this decision, when I had my first kid, I was like, do I keep grinding YouTube, or do I become the father that I want to be? Do I keep, I couldn't do both, because YouTube is like a child. You have to feed it.
Sorry, kid, you're out.
But I chose to, like, let me stop YouTube content creating and be a streamer, because then I could always be flexible and then raise the kid. I think you're going to be fine, Santi. I mean, the first couple months will be weird, because another hill is just dealing with free time as a content creator. It's very tough. And one thing I want to point out, though, I know many of you were listening, watching, work 9 to 5s. We did that. We've done that. I encourage you, find a side hustle. Break that cycle. I did it. I'm sure Santi did it. You can do it too. And it doesn't have to be with podcasting, content creating. There's lots of side hustles. You can get out of the game. Get out of the game.
You kind of sound. Did you ever, in your local market, did you ever get that ITT Tech commercial? You're doing nothing on your couch anyhow, so why don't you make a call that's going to change your future? You ever get that guy?
No.
Just roasting you for being a lazy piece of crap?
Didn't say that. I said 9 to 5 suck, dude. I've worked so many in my life. It's just awful. This is an awful thing, and I know that the great debate right now is always seemingly come up, is 9 to 5 harder than content creating and streaming. I would say no.
No.
It's not.
No. 9 to 5s are much harder.
Much harder.
Significantly much harder.
Much harder. Much harder.
You know what's also hard, Sancho?
Oh, don't you tell us. I don't want to guess. No.
The other thing that's hard is trying to predict when Penta is coming to the WWE, because of all the stuff that's happening with Rey Fenix. We see this really public, nasty divorce between AEW and Rey Fenix. Nasty divorce. I know nasty. I know divorce. But we had a little tease of Penta El Cero Miedo. At least we're assuming it's the tease of Penta El Cero Miedo. I know you love Penta. You love the Lucha Brothers. What can people expect? Those that maybe don't know who he is, or haven't watched the match clubs with Penta, or haven't watched AEW recently, sell them on Penta.
This dude is a hard-hitting luchador that has an attitude of, like his whole moniker, zero fear. He will do anything it takes to win. He will jump off of anything to do it. He is ruthless. And the dude's lucha style is still fluid. It's still exhilarating. It's Ray-esque, but there's a little bit of an edge to it. This dude has been around forever, and he's been a big fan in our match clubs and on our Patreon. If you ever want to join in, we have so many reactions to his matches on Match Club, and he's wrestled everybody you can think of, everybody and anybody. And some of my favorite AEW matches are the Lucha Brothers versus the Young Bucks, and Rey Fenix and him, and we would learn to discover that they actually are brothers, the Lucha Brothers. This guy could change the game for luchadors in the WWE, where they're always a baby face and they're always the crowd favorite because they're just a luchador and they have high-flying moves. This guy could be the first time you would feel a heel and a legitimate threat to Rey's legacy. Like, I see this guy as a world beater for Rey. Like, and he would actually give Rey a great, a last opponent almost. Like, this guy could retire Rey. That's how great of a luchador he is.
Yeah.
Right? That's
a lot of praise.
He's that good, and I absolutely love his just presence. And his in-ring work, his ring psychology is so fun to watch when he is in control of what he wants to do. Like his Lucha Underground work against Chelsea Green, and against Io Sky, was so fun to watch. And it wasn't like hey, because we watched so many intergender matches as well in Match Club. It just felt different. He has like a no remorse attitude towards whoever he faces as when he's a heel, and it just works. You believe it. You really believe what he does. And as a fan of Luchador wrestling for the longest time, especially the WCW Cruiserweights, you think of La Parca, you think of Juventud Guerrero, you think of all those legendary luchadors in that time. You kind of miss that there's not that many, and every time the WWE has one, like Sin Cara, Kalisto, Dragon Lee, Ray, they all want to be another Ray. Penta's not gonna be another Ray. He's his own dude. He probably would hate Ray. Like, that's what I love about Penta. He just is a different style of luchador that the WWE desperately needs. And I'm hoping when he shows up, he puts the fear in God in Rey Mysterio. And if Rey Mysterio treats him like a Thanos level threat in his world, I think he will open up a lot of eyes to WWE fans, and they would treat him very, very seriously. Because if, like, say Ray, yeah, and then all of a sudden I look over to the right, and then I see Penta. Like, if Ray had a match and Penta interfered in that match and obliterated Rey Mysterio, and then Rey Mysterio actually cut a legit promo, and like Ray, and you shouldn't be like, who is this guy? We don't know who he is. I think Ray should just be like, dude, that's Penta. This is the baddest dude I've ever seen in my life, and I can't believe he's here at the WWE, and he is going to be a legit. Like, if Ray cut something like that, I think that'd be amazing for Penta. That'd be a great way to put him over. But just think, okay, if I had to cut it down, boil it down even further than that, he's like Drew McIntyre of heels, or for luchas.
He's the Drew McIntyre of Lucha Libre.
But without like, I mean, I've seen him cut a promo here and there, but I haven't really seen him. I don't know how he would do in the WWE promos, but his in-ring is very dominant, like a Drew McIntyre can be.
Penta is known in Mexico. He took the Lucha Libre style and took it to la oscuridad, to the darkness.
That man, he has a black heart. Corazón negro.
Oh, that Eddie.
Eddie told me about him. He warned me.
Oh, he warned me about Penta.
Oh, man. Dude, I'm excited for Penta. I don't, you didn't outright say it, but I'm going to assume that this is the case, that you believe this, and that we're in agreement. I want him in as a heel.
Yes.
And here's the thing. Unfortunately, if there is a company that has a history of ruining luchadors, it's unfortunately the WWE.
Yeah.
But I think you've already hit on the point as to why. It's because they just try to make them into Rey Mysterio, right? They just look, Sin Cara, for all of his flaws, clearly that guy's a legendary luchador that has seemingly worked everywhere except the WWE. It's a WWE problem. I'm hoping, Sancho, that it's not a WWE problem, that it was a Vince problem. And if it's a Vince problem, then maybe Penta will actually be able to flourish here.
Don't count Triple H out, dude. We see what he does with LWO. Come on now.
We've seen it. I know. LWO
Legado,
is...
Come on.
Look, I think Legado isn't the Triple H thing. I think Legado is just not very good. I think that's a problem.
Santos was so good in Lucha Underground, dude. Come on, man.
Was he? Come on, no, he's fine. He was fine at best. But listen, I want to see him as a heel. And one of the problems that WWE has, and again, I'm hoping this is a Vince thing, not a WWE thing, is that they don't like heels that have big, flashy moves that get people to pop for them. That's what happened to Adrian Neville in the WWE. When they turned him heel, they just grounded him. No more high flying stuff. His finisher was now like almost like a crossface instead of like the cool Falcon Arrow that he used to do. I hope that they don't do that with Penta. I know that he can do the ground and pound stuff, but like the neat thing about Penta is his awesome combination of being able to bring this like bruiserweight style, this like heavy hitting style, and combine it with his lucha libre. I hope that they don't leave his lucha libre like high flying stuff behind simply because he's a heel and heels can't do cool shit.
No, I was gonna say, you could keep going because there's something in my throat.
Are you Hertz McGirt right now?
I feel. What does that mean?
From doing the Ray voice?
Yes.
But yeah, here's another thing that I want to point out. The last time that we got a teaser that was this short was the initial teaser for the Motor City Machine Guns
and the War Raiders.
And every single week, the teaser got longer and longer and longer. And by the 4th week, they debuted. All right, Sancho?
Yeah.
If you look at the calendar, this was the first initial tiny little teaser. Then we have the 23rd edition of Monday Night Raw, then the 30th edition of Monday Night Raw, and then it just so happens that the 4th week of teases would be Raw on Netflix. If we follow the same schedule of teases to debut of the Motor City Machine Guns, we would be getting Penta in Los Angeles, which I think is a perfect crowd for him. Raw Netflix also, just to clarify.
Yes, that too. And it'd be a great way to stick it to good old Tony. I mean, I know that's what Penta would want to do.
Voice,
Dude,
bro,
it's a different person, right? He wants to stick it differently to Tony, but I mean, LA crowd, these guys from Mexico City, I mean, it's going to be right in his backyard almost. That's like a second home for him. But at the same time, I feel like my concern about Penta is that I don't want him to be a Nakamura. Nakamura is that heel that is just brooding, and he, seemingly now with his new ghost gimmick, that's not Penta. Penta could have high-flying moves, and he has devastating moves, but I think what works for Penta is that he's not going to be that lucha type of thing. That's not him, man. No, that's not him. He's going to come back, and he's just going to be that guy hits like a truck. And he's going to be the Gunther of Lucha Libre.
Did you say Nacho?
Yes, I did. But yeah, I think you should be. I'm not. Hopefully, I'm not overhyping Penta.
I don't think that you are. I really don't. But then again, I also sat here and maybe overhyped Motor City Machine Guns.
Well, dude, that's the thing. That's always the question mark. I think for anybody that's been successful in any other promotion, and when they come into WWE, there's a certain style of WWE promo that you have to nail. And if that's just not you, that's just not you. And it's. I think WWE exposes a lot of wrestlers when they get to those promos because, one, WWE writing is kind of very surface level sometimes, and you get surface level writing and you have to be able to make it your own, and you have to sound believable. You don't have to sound like you could reading off a card. I mean, that's where Dragon Lee kind of struggles, right, when he does a promo. And Motor City Machine Guns, I've already said this before in the podcast, very vanilla, but they're trying. And I know they gave him that black and white vignette, and I was like, you guys you're getting there. You're finding something that works for you, but it's just not there yet. And that's the thing is, if Penta has a bad promo, the WWE goes, we're great, you could work, but if you can't deliver a promo, we're not going to have that much work for you. It is what it is. I mean, we as the WWE fans, we love someone that could cut a good promo, no matter what.
What's the ceiling for Penta in your eyes? I know what his basement is. I think his basement is
Legato.
Title.
Yeah.
The speed title.
His ceiling is retiring Ray. That would be, I would think that would be the best thing he can do, not only for himself, but for the culture of Lucha Libre, is to properly retire Rey Mysterio. And at least in the WWE eyes. Because Ray could wrestle forever. Like, Ray could go to AAA when he's like 70, right? And keep doing his thing. But if Penta could retire Ray, I think that would be the promised land for him. I mean, he could be United States. He could be a mid-card title holder. Could it be a heavyweight? Definitely tag team when his brother shows up. Yeah, when Ray shows up. His brother Ray Phoenix with R-E-Y. But I don't know. Singles gold, I don't know. That's hard for me to see because I think the goal for him always was to put them together. But because Ray Phoenix, his brother, is stuck in AEW, they're just like, all right, man, well, we got to go ahead and start moving this sort because then it could set up like futures down the line, Penta's in trouble, and who comes out to save him? His brother. So there's just so much pop potential with Penta and Ray later down the line, Ray Phoenix.
Yeah, I would say that his ceiling is mid-card at most in tag titles, but also the guy that could give Cody Rhodes or Seth Rollins an amazing match, right?
Ooh.
Think about how good those matches can be. He can be elevated to have those matches with those guys, even if we know that he's not going to win, but still deliver unbelievably good matches.
Yes, I'm regaining my voice. I'm regaining my power. Penta in a Money in the Bank match.
Oh, dude, he would come up with things we've never seen before.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's also another thing we haven't talked about Penta. His insane creativity with things. He comes up with some things like, dude, like you're sadistic that you've managed to come up with this.
I think it was against Io Sky. Io gets thrown into like the mid rope, and she comes back, and he like missile drop kicks her out of the ring.
So
like,
nasty.
right?
It's so nasty. It's so nasty.
It was so good, and he's young, 39 years old, plenty of time.
So he's 39.
Yeah, that's not old in wrestling terms.
Is it old in lucha terms with how much bouncing he has to do?
The way lucha wrestlers go, they could go forever, dude.
You're right. Like there are a lot of examples of really old luchadors, so you're not wrong there. All right, so I had kind of teased the possibility of Penta showing up at Raw Netflix, but we know a couple of other things that have already been announced for Raw Netflix, and this show is it's funny because we're calling it Raw Netflix, but like it's Raw, all of the Raws starting January 6th are Raw Netflix. But when I say Raw Netflix, I do mean the January 6th edition, like the first episode of Raw on Netflix. We already have CM Punk versus Seth Rollins confirmed and announced for that show. That's crazy. We have Roman Reigns versus Solo Sikoa for the Ufalafa on on Raw Netflix as well. And presumably, I would assume that we're also going to get Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan on this show. They announced the match, but they didn't announce that it's going to be on Raw Netflix. Sancho, I think the only reason they didn't announce it was on Raw Netflix is because they didn't want to take any steam away from the announcement of Punk and Rollins. I think they want to let that kind of simmer for a little bit and then announce, the match that has the biggest women's star in Rhea Ripley so that they both have their time to shine as well. But I'm assuming that match is going to be on Raw Netflix. What a show. That's crazy.
Yeah, I got a lot of people coming in my chat saying, should I buy Nosebleed? I was like, dude, if you're in the area and you got the money to do it, Intuit Dome, is the Nosebleed, it's not that bad there, right? You were there. I know there's that big screen. I mean, maybe the big screen they don't have it where the big screen blocks your view, right? That's not a problem. I know that's
I
a
don't
problem.
think so.
Right?
No. And the cool thing about the Intuit Arena is especially like the nosebleeds, because like, all right, so if you're listening to the audio, it's going to be tough to visualize what I'm saying, but just try to follow me here.
All right, Santi has his hands down.
Most arenas for like NBA and the NHL, when you get to the nosebleeds, they go farther out as they go up as well, right? The Intuit Dome almost goes straight up. There is like far less of an angle in the Intuit Dome. So even your nosebleeds, you're high up, but you're not as far back from the ring as you would be in a traditional arena where they push you up and back. The Intuit Dome, it's got this, it's almost vertical with how they call it the wall at the Intuit Dome. So you're not going to be that far back, honestly.
Yeah, so I was like, I say if you can't do it, because at least you could feel like you're there. You're there. One, it's a good thing to be part of history. But then you could always watch.
Be a special show.
Yeah, it's on Netflix. You could literally watch it literally right as it ends. There's no need to DVR it. There's no need to do all that. It's going to be available instantly, which is a great thing about Netflix. But yeah, I think it's a great show. And I have to say this: when I was watching Monday Night Raw this past episode, there's something special about CM Punk, and now I'm getting it. I'm starting to get it. Like I got it with I started to get it with AEW. I started to get it when watching some old Punk, but being actively watching in an era where CM Punk is actively doing his thing, when you could tell when he is reading his stuff that he has to do, and when he's just CM Punk, baby, and when he is just CM Punk, and he's just roasting Seth Rollins with ease. Like, it's just easy for him to roast him, and he's not trying to be over the top with it. He's just like dropping little roasting here and there. I was just enamored the whole time. I was like, man, CM Punk is just elevating this entire show. He's elevating Seth Rollins. He elevates anything that he's a part of, and it's cool, man. It's really cool to see someone in his element just nailing it consistently, and he nailed it. And I'm like, oh, here comes Seth. Oh, Seth Rollins goes, oh. Even from here, you're a-hole. Like, yes, things are getting better, dude. This is what I love about CM Punk, and I think I feel like if you had him in promotion, you use him expertly, and he's being used to the T perfectly.
Yeah, this was a significant upgrade on this episode of Monday Night Raw in terms of the development of Seth Rollins and CM Punk. We said that having asymmetrical differently timed promos that weren't at each other just didn't work. It won't work. We need these guys in the ring, insulting each other, looking each other in the eyes, and saying the things that they want to say to each other, and brawls. This was a significant upgrade on their last brawl as well that looked hokey as hell. It was bad. I thought that this was great. I'm excited for their match at Raw Netflix. I think it's coming so early to the point where now I have to question, where does this go? And I once again have to lead to the fact that it's a CM Punk WrestleMania main event, because they really harped on Punk again on the Mania, the lack of Mania main events, I should say, with Seth Rollins saying, one thing that I'll always have is more WrestleMania main events than you. So this is like, again, multiple times at this WrestleMania main event, Punky continues to linger on the back of CM Punk. And the fact that they're already doing this match here tells me that they somehow got something bigger planned for both of those guys at WrestleMania. Is that a Minions mug?
It is.
That's awesome.
Oh, man. Minions are cool, man.
I love the Minions. I think you gotta have CM Punk in the WrestleMania main event in some way, shape,
Can you imagine if they had this would be the equivalent of South Park in the WWE Minions WWE fight? You know, like a Taker minion. Imagine that, or like a Stone Cold minion. It's like when South Park. Remember that like Stone Cold versions of the. Forget it.
Sancho wanted an Undertaker minion, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, dude, a Taker minion would be cool. Don't act so don't get off your high horse. Get off that little pedestal of yours. Get off of it.
This is what you call a pedestal? This thing, this chair that I've been sitting on for the better part of like
shut your mouth. You put that in front of everyone and you destroyed everyone in live views.
My chair averages 1,000 viewers.
Yeah, you know how hard it is for me to get 1,000 viewers? I work hard at this. I am unwatchable.
Whoa. Unwatchable, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so we've talked about the hype of of Seth and Punk. What about the hype of Roman versus Solo? But I guess my question is the hype for this the match or the potential of The Rock's return?
I can't do this. I can't do this anymore. I'm done. I am done waiting for The Rock. I want to be surprised. Okay,
you're off the train. He's off The Rock's train, folks.
You know, you could go into the archives. Do you know how many times we're like, "Oh, dude, this is it.
I know.
This is it. If you smell." Doesn't show up. I am tired of sitting at my doorstep waiting for The Rock to come back from his trip to get milk, and he never does.
You know what's funny? With how much they're talking about CM Punk main eventing WrestleMania, I can't see The Rock coming back. It's almost like if The Rock exists, CM Punk cannot main event. Right? We saw it all through CM Punk's like main event run when he should have been main eventing things when The Rock came back for Cena. We saw it at Bad Blood, right? CM Punk and Drew McIntyre should have main evented. If The Rock is in the picture, obviously Roman and Rock is the match, and obviously Roman and Rock need the main event. But the more and more that I'm like kind of connecting dots, the more and more that I'm leaning towards WWE wanting to give CM Punk the main event. And if The Rock is there, I don't think that happens, which is why I'm leaning towards The Rock not returning. Plus, we've been burned so many freaking times now with thinking that The Rock is going to come back. And not that our listeners are the type to like read dirt sheets, but it was recently discovered that The Rock's return at Bad Blood didn't even like have any major story ramifications. It was just an appearance for the sake of an appearance. That's apparently what it was, which makes the fact that CM Punk and Drew McIntyre didn't main event hurt even more, because it lost its main event because of The Rock's appearance, an appearance that they had nothing to build off of.
Do you think, and I know people were like, well, then why don't you have Rock and Punk? They would not put a good match. That is not a good chemistry match right now at their age. Punk and Rock. At
their age, I agree. I was going to say Rock and Punk at Elimination Chamber and at the Royal Rumble like 10 years ago was really good.
Yes, but it wouldn't work right now. And it would feel like it was just a money grab for them to put that match together. I think there's just... The thing about The Rock is he wants the number one spot, and he kind of deserves it because based on, one, he's a board member, And I think The Rock feels like he's owed one. The Rock pivoted hard. According to The Rock, it was his idea. But The Rock was probably asked, maybe you should probably be heel because seemingly this is not going to work. And the people are pissed that you took Cody's spot. And I think The Rock will go, okay, I'm down to do it. I'm down to clown this time. But
I hate that term.
What do you mean? Down to clown.
I hate down to clown. We've been through this before.
Down
Let's not
to
open up the
no,
can
no,
of
I'm not.
worms
I'm
with
not.
down
But
to clown.
I want to change it down to Balatro. How about that?
Oh, nice.
You like that? You like
did.
You like
I don't know.
Balatro?
I've not had a chance to play it, but the problem is that I know I would get hooked on
Okay,
Balatro.
play it on the plane. Why not? What's gonna
Sure. Yeah.
download it, play it on the plane, then delete it. Down to Balatro.
But I won't delete it. I know.
It's so good.
I'm that is like my type of game, unfortunately, and I know that it'll consume me.
It's so good. Nominated for Game of the Year. Huh? Yeah. Astrobot Game of the Year. How about that?
W Astrobot.
I never
Good
played
for
it.
you guys.
I'm not why would you say I'm not a PlayStation pony?
You're a PlayStation pony.
I'm not a
Yes, you
PlayStation
are.
pony. I have an Xbox right here.
You are a Sony pony at
not a
heart.
Sony pony.
Every other
Look.
tweet it is just glazing
Look.
Naughty Dog.
Look. What's this? It's not connected, so that tells you a lot, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
I was gonna tell you. That's literally what I was gonna say. Clearly, they don't freaking play it. Good old Sony pony.
But the thing,
Anyways.
the thing about Roman and Solo, I think this is a great thing for Solo Sikoa. It shows that Solo Sikoa has come a long way. From last year, everyone did not want to see Solo anywhere near Roman, and now finally we're gonna get the payoff. I don't know how you cannot see that The Rock will show up. I mean, where does Roman go once he gets back to Ulafala? Does he go after Cody? Is that his next stop? Like, now that I got my Ulafala, the LA Knight, I worked so hard to get it right. Now all of a sudden, LA Knight,
The
Ulafala.
Oofalafa. Dude, I've been seeing I saw somebody said Oofa Lufa, which I died laughing at. Somebody said the Oofa Falafel, and I was like, oh, that's good too. Anyways, the Oofalafa. You bring up a good point. Like, if not Rock, then what? But I also think that the WWE is setting up a bunch of different things of what could be. We've been seeing Drew McIntyre kind of going on his, what I've been calling the Bloodline Bounty Hunter mode. Maybe
He's like a Punisher.
It's Drew.
He's like a Punisher.
I like Bloodline Bounty Hunter.
No, he's a Punisher. He's like Frank Castle.
He is a bloodline. Why? My term is good. Don't try and upstage me. The
Bloodline Bounty Hunter. I am the
No,
dog.
don't do the voice. Don't do the voice.
Did you like Dog the
Don't
Bounty
do
Hunter?
it.
Did you like Dog the Bounty Hunter?
Dude, I'll show it to you off air, but my
Why-
girlfriend Sarah
Yeah.
went as Dog the Bounty Hunter for Halloween, and it was such a good costume. Such a good costume.
Just tweet it out, bro. No one's gonna stop you. Sarah might.
I'll tweet it. Yes, I don't know if Sarah wants her as Dog. No, she was really proud of that costume. Where were we?
Roman, where does he go next?
It could be something to do with Drew McIntyre. Maybe it's back to Seth. Like, Drew McIntyre's almost like trying to recruit the Dark Avengers and telling Seth, like, bringing up Roman again. Look, he's trying to become the tribal chief again. He said in his promo that once he beats Solo and gets the Oofalafa back, that he's gonna get people to acknowledge him again. So maybe it's something to do with that angle, because like something that we spoke on was how many storylines currently revolve around Roman Reigns, even if Roman Reigns isn't there. And Seth Rollins, Punk, and Drew McIntyre, the stuff with Jay and Sami Zayn, to a degree, Roman Reigns is a big driving factor there. So there are things for Roman to do, if not Rock. But obviously, Rock is the big one. And undoubtedly, Sancho, I know the internet wrestling community. I know them a little bit too well, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They will bitch and moan if The Rock doesn't come out at this match. They will. They will see it as a colossal failure. Raw Netflix is cooked. Raw Netflix sucks if The Rock doesn't come out. This is what The Rock has done. He's created these faux expectations that we continue to falter on and try to make. And this is the one place where people will absolutely not just predict, but demand that The Rock be at. And if he's not there, the IWC will turn on this. I know the IWC.
You know what? It's funny though, is The Rock would be like, see, the people want me. See, I should main event WrestleMania, not CM Punk. The Rock. Dwayne's so good. He makes himself like so like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like he is the anchor being in his world.
He is the world in his world.
A lot of our readers and or listeners and all that kind of mess on the YouTube comments said that it's,
Our readers?
Yeah, our readers. Dude, I am like shutting down. The Seth Rollins was the anchor being. That without Seth Rollins, we wouldn't have this Roman. That Seth Rollins is the launch point and the fracture point for so many people. And that if you take Seth Rollins out of this universe, that we wouldn't be where we are without Seth Rollins. So if you have Roman Reigns going up against Seth Rollins, then that's two anchor beings going at it. And Roman Reigns said it's on site with Seth Rollins. That's how much he hates him. And I think they kind of hinted at this feud because Seth did not help him at War Games.
That's true. I go back to what I was saying. There is things for Roman that people want to see if it's not The Rock, right? But you mentioned Seth Rollins being an anchor being. What's fascinating about Seth Rollins is that he can be this important character, whether he's a good guy or a bad guy, and he's got all of these ties with so many of the main eventers, like obviously feuds with Roman, with Cody Rhodes, right now with CM Punk, beef with Drew McIntyre. And these are all guys that are in some way, shape, or form have the hands in the cookie jar of, hey, you grab that Seth Rollins with any of those guys, and that could be a WrestleMania main event. And that's a special thing to be able to say about somebody in general, that you can just pluck any random other main eventer, and there is enough of a rich story and past and lore between Seth Rollins and any one of these guys that you could develop a WrestleMania main event worthy match and feud.
But would it be for a title though, with Seth Rollins? Because it's not going to be Seth Rollins that walks in with the belt. It's got
is the belt going to be part of things? Like, do you really feel
it
that way?
has to be.
I know, but like the belt seems so far removed right now. It does. I'm not saying that it can't come back into.
Are you
the
blaming
fold.
Cody? Are you blaming Cody? It sounds like you're about to blame Cody.
Oh, you know what's funny is I was thinking Gunther.
Oh,
I was thinking the Gunther
so
side.
It's me that's the Cody hater all of a sudden. Because
You've always been the Cody hater.
I'm not a Cody hater.
Always been the Cody hater.
No. I mean, I like to preference things if I critique Cody, be like, and I'm not a Cody hater. But Cody's title, I don't think if it's Gunther's title that Seth and Cody and Seth and CM Punk are fighting over at Mania, does that slot the Undisputed lower if it's Cody versus Randy?
Oh, no way. No, they wouldn't. I mean, maybe in the eyes of people, but
what
the
about
WWE wouldn't.
In your eyes, what do you see, brother?
The cult of personality main eventing, dude. I mean, if anything involving CM Punk right now, it's WrestleMania main event worthy. I really believe that.
Think about this. Hear me out. It's CM Punk wins. He has the Mania belt, right? He has Gunther's belt. Let's just say that. He has it, and it's Cody and CM Punk. They're both walking around, undisputed and heavyweight. Crown Jewel comes around. Who do you have? CM. Don't roll your eyes at me. Don't roll your eyes. It's not my fault.
I'm rolling them at the Crown Jewel belt.
I am working with what I got here, sir. So then you got CM Punk versus Cody for that Crown Jewel. People get mad at me, but this is the things that WWE does. This is not my fault that Gunther and Goldberg could be a match at Mania. That's not my fault.
People were so mad at you for suggesting Goldberg Gunther.
I didn't suggest it. The WWE did. They put Gunther and Goldberg, and you think Goldberg's not going to get his back?
You speaking it could bring it into existence.
Oh, I'm the reason. I'm the reason why.
You're the anchor being.
I'm the anchor being. Oh yeah, I'm the anchor being. Considering that my boy LA Knight may have his finally respite of relief from the SmackDown jail that he's been on, and LA Knight could be transferred over to Raw where he belongs on Netflix. Yeah. When you saw LA, don't you yawn at me, sir. How dare you, sir?
Midnight,
I don't care if it's midnight. When all of a sudden when LA Knight is on the screen, you go to midnight. That's right. Wait.
What?
Yeah, exactly. LA Knight.
I don't know what you just said.
LA Knight, brother, is finally going to be saved, and we should rejoice We're gonna take down the Spirit Halloween signs. People are gonna come in. Does it used to be the Spirit Halloween? No, it's a glaze factory now, pumping out 100% organic glaze 24/7 for our boy LA Knight. Because finally, he's about to show all these people on Raw. He's gonna go up to Gunther like, nah, and he's gonna. What is LA Knight's name? What's LA Knight's real name?
I don't know what his real name is. Oh, Eli Drake. Eli.
No, that's not his real name. Is it Sean?
That was his TNA. That's his TNA name.
I think his name is Sean. Sean. What are you doing, Sean?
Yeah, because it doesn't work if he goes, LA.
Night. He's gonna be like that, and all of a sudden you're gonna have the fire promos. He's gonna make fun of Gunther's everything. Walking around with your robe. What is this? I'm waking up middle of the night, going in the refrigerator. Nah. That's gonna be LA Knight. That's the equivalent of promos that we're gonna get from LA Knight and Gunther. It's gonna be magical. All right.
You really think that everything you just listed does not sound magical to me?
Wow, boo, Gunther. Boo. That's what you sound like right now. What do you want? What do you
look? Do you really see right now LA Knight as a world heavyweight title contender?
Yeah.
No, you just want the Glaze Factory to be reopened. You're just looking for
you want another Finn Balor and Damian? Did you see Gunther just destroy them and eat them up? He's done with that.
I appreciate that he did.
He's done with that.
Okay, so but you're sold on the idea that like LA Knight can go from getting squashed by Nakamura, get squashed by the Bloodline, and be like, hey, world title. Like,
yes.
What?
Yeah, you
rehabbing of LA Knight?
Gunther's gonna be like, I've crushed.
I
gave you the raspberry. Look at it. He's gonna be like, I have crushed everybody. No one here on this roster and Raw could stop me. I am the ring general. Then LA. That's all you need. That's all you need. I don't care if it's a pit stop for Gunther. I just want my boy to get a chance. Get a crack at it. He got an unfair crack against Roman Reigns. He never had a chance, but against Gunther, he would have a chance to win. You would believe LA Knight versus Gunther, there'd be a small chance that LA Knight could get it done. Come on, dude. You got
I agree with you. I think there would be excitement. My problem is that right now, as it stands at least,
for which it stands,
the stock of LA Knight is like the lowest that it's been.
That's where he's at his best. That's where he's at his best.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. When it's back against the wall.
No, literally, no, stop.
All of a sudden,
no, it's not.
A BFD's coming down that line, brother. It's gonna happen. I'm telling you. I think everyone's excited, dude. Did you see the hype for everyone that he's gonna be on Raw? Everyone's excited. Don't tell me he's gonna go after Braun Breaker. Like that's a sidestep. It's a sidestep.
I mean, I personally think LA Knight as a heel would be a treat. I would like him as a heel
against Braun Breaker. That'd be an interesting heel.
Yeah, it would be an interesting heel. And there's lore, there's history there because it was the NXT 2.0 folks that were trying to do away with the NXT Black and Gold folks. They were part of that War Games of NXT Black and Gold versus NXT 2.0.
That's a deep cut.
There's some lore and some history there, but that's a deep cut.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you here and now. Right now, look at me. If LA Knight goes to Raw, are you on the LA Knight train? This is your.
I'm not off the LA Knight train.
Okay.
No,
it just seemed like you were kind of. No. You're like, he's not magical. He's at his all-time low. These are things
I can't criticize. You can't criticize the things we love.
These are things that you say when you're not on a train. You know.
No, I'm on it. No. I may not be first class right now. You know, I might.
It sounds like you got 1 foot out the door. You're looking for the next stop off the train.
I might have a foot out, but I'm still on the train.
Because, you know, you got to be like your Chargers train, bro. You got to be on it no matter what. That's the train, brother. You're on no matter what, where it goes, where it stops.
I'm not on. Okay.
If it derails.
I'm not on no matter what.
That's what you got to be.
I'm not there.
Oh,
I'm not on that train. I'm not on the if it derails. No. I need to see more from LA Knight's booking in general. For me to, like,
booking.
Really
that's where the problem is booking.
It's not been great, right?
It's because he was shackled on SmackDown, bro. He had nowhere to go, honestly. Once he won the title, you saw he had no one to go up against.
Are you willing now, though, to admit that LA Knight ruining Game 7 was bad? Can you just admit it? Because you didn't admit it before. Can you admit it? Can you just admit it? Just admit it. You'll feel better if you admit it.
You sound like Big E right now. Come on, Cove. After 10 years?
10 years? Will you admit it?
That's it.
Admit it. Just admit it.
Seeing where Andrade and Melo have ended up after that, I would say it was a problem. Because those guys are nowhere.
No. I don't want you to say it was a problem. I want you to say to the people, I was wrong for thinking that LA Knight ruining Game 7 was a good thing. Say that.
I didn't say it was a good thing. I didn't say
you did. If I roll back the tape, dude, you defended that
they ended up on a PLE because of it. The triple threat, right?
Oh my God, you're digging your feet. Just admit it was bad.
And you had that sweet ass BFT out of nowhere. So it was good that he ruined it.
God.
It was so good that he came in there and BFT.
Well, let's see where everyone is after
when
LA
you
Knight
get
did.
married, remember these words. You're going to invite me to your wedding, and I'm going to do this right before you kiss. I'm going to sit there and do this.
Everyone's clapping normally, but Sancho's doing
Are you going to, right, when you get married, are you going to have a wrestling entrance when you get introduced as the bride and groom to your reception that everyone does?
I don't know, dude. We're kind of in agreement that we don't even want to do a ceremony.
Okay, well, that's fine. But I'm talking about the reception, the party.
Okay.
Are you going to get a WWE entrance with the belt?
I'm going to ask for one. I'm going to ask for one. Will I get it? I don't know.
I knew it.
I'm gonna come out to
what song?
What song should I come out to?
Batista, dude, because you're really good at the machine gun thing. You're really
good.
Let me see it. You're really good at the taunt. Come on, I've seen it. Here it is. This is it. Oh yeah. Move that plastic chair around. Yeah, don't get rough with it now. Here it is. Look at it. Oh yeah, that's it. Yeah, dude. Now he's putting the chair back after displaying it, but he's back again. Oh no, my goodness. Yeah, dude, that's it. That's the one, dude. That's a good one. And then
this
you got
podcast is a mess.
What? And then you got to do the Macho Man and Elizabeth pose.
Dude, I'm out of breath.
Got gassed up out of there, blown up.
Sancho, I'm gonna rip your head off.
I'm gonna hurt you real. And then Dave grabbed me really hard, and I got a little scared.
And Eddie warned me.
Oh man! Do you think Rey Mysterio think he was gonna die when Big Show just picked him up on that stretcher and just whacked him?
Dude, that's one of the scariest. And he just drops him.
Oh.
Just drops him face first.
I don't know what's worse, that spot or Ricochet lawn darted by Braun Breaker. Both were
that
pretty
was
gnarly.
bad. They were pretty gnarly, but not as bad as Carmelo Hayes getting buried by the return. Bro, he lost in a minute. And all the offense that he did was no-sold by Braun Strowman. What is that? What is the purpose of that?
You know what it reminds me of? It's when like a D1 player transfers over to like a lesser known conference and he just dominates. That's what Braun Strowman is, dude. He was one of the big monsters in Raw coming over to SmackDown. Now he's going to be the new big baby face. It is what it is, man. It's a D1 school coming in, destroying someone in a D3, 3-2.
But okay, but like I'm fine with Braun Strowman being one of the top guys on SmackDown. But at the expense of Carmelo Hayes, a guy that they've spent so much. I mean, like, okay, like
Pretty Deadly. That would have been good.
That actually would have been perfect. Like, if you're looking for a squash, Pretty Deadly is it. But like, we saw on Raw, like he doesn't need to squash people in order to look like a monster. Look at the feud that he had with Bronson Reed. He wasn't squashing Bronson Reed, and that was the most monstrous that he looked. You know what? That feud was so good that I actually popped for Braun Strowman's music when it hit against Carmelo Hayes. I was actually down because the feud against Bronson
Reed. You were down to clown?
I was so down to clown. Babe, the clown nose stays on.
No. Look, I don't think he's buried, bro. I think it's a great chemistry match. Carmelo's one of those heels that would ask a rematch from Nick Aldis until he gets it. And I think when he does, he's going to trick Braun Strowman. I think their chemistry in the ring reminds me of Ricochet, but actually Carmelo could be a better kind of annoyance to Braun Strowman. And I think he's going to keep coming at him, and he's going to be like, oh, you think you beat me? That was an accident. You know, that was a fluke. I'm going to be the one that beat you this time. And if he loses again, I think it's a great kind of different kind of feud to have Melo keep going after Braun Strowman to be that annoying gnat at his side. I think that's going to be quite interesting because what else is he going to do? Melo can't go against Nakamura. Melo can't.
Okay, but like he could go to Raw. He could literally be squashed to get sent out of SmackDown into Raw. And one, I think that's really realistic. I don't think that I'm reaching there. I think that's a really realistic thing. But getting sent to Raw after getting owned like that isn't a great look.
See, that's where LA Knight is different from Melo, though. I think LA Knight his stock is fine. I don't know why people are selling LA Knight stock just because he lost.
They don't have diamond hands, bro.
I have diamond hands. I still have.
I mean, I'm not selling LA Knight stock. I'm just seeing that it's low, and I'm pointing it out. I love LA Knight, though.
So, but you're saying that Melo stock is low and you're out? I'm not saying I'm not out on Melo.
No. I'm not out on Melo. I'm just confused as to what the purpose of this was. Like, the purpose of this was to make Braun Strowman be a monster, but we already knew that. Like, so
it's to give
what is the
Melo,
end play here?
To give Melo something to chase that does not involve a title.
Okay,
it's his own personal mountain to overcome.
Sure. Okay, that's fine. I'm willing to buy that as a storyline, but I'm only willing to buy it if Melo stays on SmackDown, which I don't think anybody believes that he's going to. I think
why would he go to Raw? What's there for him?
Because he's
Raw?
already mentioned to Nick Aldis that maybe I'll go over to Raw. He's actually like the only character that's mentioned. I'm gonna go over here instead. Literally the only one, dude.
Yeah, but the Nick Aldis response was like, "Go ahead." You know, it's like that was his response to the whole entire thing.
Which, by the way, that kind of buried him. That response, like not being seen as an asset.
Well, he's
actually
first
hurt
off,
him, I think.
He's the number one draft pick. Let's not get that twisted.
So then why go when your number one draft pick is threatening to leave? That was I think that was a bad response.
I think it's because Adam Pearce wouldn't want him, type of thing. Like Melo has been used as a heel as an annoying guy. He annoyed Cody Rhodes. He annoyed Andrade. He's annoying. That's what he does. He's gonna annoy Braun Strowman. He's gonna continue.
Put the prize in the bag.
He's gonna tell Braun Strowman, like, brother, you got lucky, and then Braun's gonna be like, what? And then they're gonna have a fight. It's just, it's you're overthinking it. Because I would agree with you if there was a title involved or there was some sort of end goal for Braun Strowman and Melo, but I don't think this is just a feud to buy time for both of them. Their chemistry in the ring is kind of cool, man. That moment where he just bounced right off for Braun Strowman, I think that's awesome. And then you're underselling Melo's ability to adapt to his opponent. Think of all the times he fought Andrade and he was able to counter his moves and figure things out. Same thing with Cody Rhodes. He countered so many moves. He's going to counter Braun Strowman. And then it's going to be awesome when he does beat Braun Strowman, and then Braun's like, he could then say, like, well, let's go again. It could be another best of 7 situation, but I don't think it goes that far. I think it's just a good, what's the word I'm looking for? A good highlight match, like a good marquee match for SmackDown. Like if I was going to buy a ticket and I saw Melo versus Braun, I'm like, ooh, this match is going to have some hard-hitting action. It's going to be really cool.
Okay. I mean, I like the optimism.
Yes.
I like the optimism.
This optimism had led me to great things with the New Day. You know what I'm saying? I was optimistic from the beginning. You're on the train. I could still talk about the past. I was very optimistic, and here we are, you know. We're living high, you know. You go and be like, and then I saw Xavier and Kofi, and I told him, you're not allowed in the locker room. Like those moments, I go,
do
I'm
they
so
feel
happy.
earned? Do they feel earned?
It's like a little cheat snack, and I'm so happy that Santi's on this train with me. That's what I think about. I'm like,
Well, if you don't think that Carmelo Hayes is getting buried, do you think that Kaiser is getting pushed? Over on Monday Night Raw, you had a really interesting match with Braun Breaker, kind of forced Braun Breaker to kind of change his entire arsenal. And I like that this is the type of Kaiser that we got, a smart, conniving, tactical, calculated heel. I never thought that he was going to win or that he should win, because right now it's Braun Breaker's time. But seeing him being that calculated and being that good told me, I think his time's gonna come soon.
He is a submission. He needs a submission finisher. He's like that's the final piece, because then I would believe that because he could work any limb really well, and he worked the arm of Braun Breaker so well. But imagine if you had that threat of him, if he puts Braun in this submission hold with an arm, a Rings of Saturn, a crossface, if he had a sharpshooter or something of that magnitude, just like how Gunther had like 1,000 type of finishers. If Ludwig could be a man of 1,000 holes like Dean Malenko and be like, oh my God, he's working this guy's arm, they have to watch out for this finisher, I think that adds some legitimate threat to Kaiser, because that's what's missing from him is that legitimate threat. Like, are you afraid of Kaiser's finisher, which almost looks like a Crossroads right setup, or a Sister Abigail setup into, his signature Kaiser roll doesn't have any hit, but a brutal submission hold, something like you ever seen a wrestler do this, the fish hook?
I think I have, yeah.
Right? That's something that Kaiser should do. Like, that's the kind of
fish hook.
No, like, that's not his finisher. That's like his something like his things to wear you down, like that, something brutal like that, man. Not like a mandible claw type situation, but I think that's what's missing from his arsenal. Just that one little thing, and we're good. It kind of reminds me of someone who's like less stature using a high flying move to beat somebody of a big size, because when Kaiser going against Braun Breaker, did you ever think Braun Breaker was in trouble, even though he was getting worked on?
No.
Would you believe he was in trouble if Braun Breaker was getting worked on and Kaiser had a submission hold in his back pocket?
If he had a submission hold that had been protected and legitimized.
Yeah, dude.
But if he were to all of a sudden break one out in that match, I wouldn't have.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they need to set one up for him. Give him some matches to set him up with. Give him somebody to, like, an Otis type of situation where it's just devastating, and maybe shelve somebody for a bit. Remember that one time where Alexa Bliss like popped out her elbow?
Oh yeah, that was nasty.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I was hoping for the Kaiser could do, and it could be a Sheamus type situation where he does it to Sheamus. I mean, they're trying to build up Kaiser as a heel with brutality by breaking Sheamus's ribs with a shillelagh and having that one move where he runs on the outside and he injures his own partner in Giovanni. But I think it's the cerebral move that they're missing. I think the WWE in general is missing a heel with that factor. I can't think of anyone besides like an Oscar Lock. Can you think of any other submission holds that are very like
no, nothing that's like protected anymore. Like submissions just
and not even the ankle lock.
They're just not.
Not even Gable's ankle lock.
No, that thing gets rolled out of every single match. There is no submission hold. It's funny because
the Gunther's headlock maybe.
Even that, dude, like nowadays is like people hold on for a really, really long time and only lose to it after they've been put into it for the fourth time in the match, right? I'm talking about like if Angle got one ankle lock on you, it was done. If Brett got the sharpshooter on you, it was over. There isn't like trying to put it on a third, a fourth, or a fifth time like Gunther has to do with this headlock.
Well, not only is sharpshooter's pre-protected, kinda.
Funny enough, like the last like protected submission that I can think of was when Roman used to do the guillotine. Do you remember that?
Ew.
Yeah, in like the pandemic era, his finisher was the guillotine choke. That's how he won most of his matches. And then all of a sudden it did disappear. But yeah, my arms are big. But nowadays,
was it Shayna Baszler?
Shayna Baszler, yeah, that's a good one, but it's been a long time since that one's been protected.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you're talking about when Kaiser gets his push, I think that's what he's missing. I think we'll probably get one added to it. I think Triple H probably saw how great he is working an arm, and it felt natural. It didn't feel forced. It felt really natural, and there was like a variety of different moves he did to work that arm. And I was like, oh, this is kind of cool. He's doing this move now. He's slamming it in this different way. I thought it was great. I thought it was a great coming out party for Kaiser again. It seemingly every time he gets an opportunity to shine, albeit from that injury that he had that slowed him down a bit, I think they have big plans for him. It feels that way. That's why they got rid of Giovanni.
Yeah, it just feels like this was because we've seen Kaiser have good matches, right? And
yep.
We all say, yeah, he's good. I think what was different about this match with Braun Breaker is even though we all knew what the result was going to be, this was kind of the first time that I saw him with a believable like ring psychology, where I was like, oh, I can vibe with the story, the physical story that Kaiser is taking us on, and I want to say that I haven't seen him do that before. And really, the only reason I wasn't on board with him winning was because it was Braun Breaker's time. But it made me believe that, hey, somewhere down the line, it's Kaiser's time. Like, he's got it. Like, the dude just keeps getting better and better and just continues to become the full package.
I'm trying to think what would be his submission hold. It has to be something old school, something Imperium-esque. Something like, because Gunther's the headlock is so old school. The sleeper hold.
What about if he were to take Bob Backlund's
the chicken wing? Oh my god.
Yeah, that'd be nice, dude, right?
As a kid, I hated the chicken wing. And I was like, Bob Backlund was always so annoying to see on TV when I was a kid. Because he was such like an anti-superstar. He was just a dude. And then they made him like wear the bow tie and had the suspenders. But he always walked around like this. And he always did these kind of moves. And when he got the chicken wing in, it was over. It was literally over. There was like, no matter who you were, if it was locked in, you were done.
It was really protected. So I feel like he could pull off the chicken wing.
Oh man, but I just remember Bob Backlund with his blue trunks. It's interesting to me that there's some wrestlers that just stick with you, even though they weren't like Bob Backlund. Of course, is a main eventer of his time. When he rolled around the WWF and the golden era, it was just like, for me, he stuck to me. Is there any wrestlers that just stick in your mind, even though they're not like big?
Oh, that's a great question. Shelton Benjamin always stuck with me. Like, always stuck with me. I remember, like, for so long, I was like, man,
blonde
I want
hair
Shelton
or
literally all of it. Like, blonde hair Shelton is so underrated. What a great, the gold standard. So for me, it is Shelton, and it's funny because then every time I see Shelton like break out again, I'm like, see, that's why I always wanted him right there, and I never got him. Like what he's doing with AEW, it's great stuff. Now, we talked about Kaiser. You know, we're both high on him, but what about Finn Balor? And you know what? We'll throw Damian in here as well. I have a little Bob the Builder notification right beside it because the question is, can we fix it?
Explain. Oh, okay.
Yeah, there you go. See, you like now. Before
I was gonna say he's past my prime. I didn't know. Is he in your prime? Is he in your wheelhouse?
He was in my prime. Like Bob the Builder, like childhood Santi, like that's one of the goats. You know, like that guy carried children's TV.
Is he your John Cena?
No, he's not my John Cena. I think he's probably like a Randy Orton. Bob the Builder is the Randy Orton of my era's children's TV. I hear voices in my head.
We can build it. That's what you hear. Oh my god.
The three most dangerous letters in the game: F-I-X.
I thought you were gonna say B-O-B.
Oh, I should have done that.
You blew it.
I ruined the joke.
Yeah.
I ruined the joke.
All right.
So anyways, Bob the Builder.
Bob the Builder.
Can we fix it?
Can we fix Damian and Finn?
Is the answer yes, we can, or no, we can't? Because this feud sucks ass.
Well, that's the road we're headed down, right?
It's the road we've been on, brother. It's been sucking ass.
But that's what I mean. Like when Gunther buried both of them, it's like, why continue down this path? It's like, fellas, you both suck here, bro. Like you both got bounced like hard, you know? And then Finn Balor getting interviewed by Damian, who was sitting at the timekeeper's pit, coming in there and giving the War Raiders the win, which I think the War Raiders are not ready for, by the way. I feel like the tag titles should have been on Judgment Day longer and just give them more matches to build it up and then have War Raiders beat them, because it feels like it's one of those transitional champions. Like, great, now we have someone who's active, but I always feel like we've been on repeat mode when it comes to the tag team titles. It's like, great, this person should fix it, or great, it's on Motor City Machine Guns, they should fix it. And that's not the case. They just need more TV time. But to go back to Damian and Finn, wouldn't it be wild to think that maybe together they're better?
Like, you think that they're gonna end up tag teaming?
Hey, I suck, you suck, maybe we suck together.
Oh, thank goodness that you finished this sentence.
Just say it like
even
right? Like maybe they're better together. That's what I'm trying to get at. What do you want from me?
Comments of this are just gonna be about what you just said. You suck, I suck, we suck together. It's 1 a.m. folks. It's 1 a.m.
No, it's true though. Like, what are they gonna do separately? Where is he gonna go? Where's Finn gonna go? Where's Damian gonna go? He had his badass moment with calling himself the Streak.
I know, but Sancho,
I'm holding on to that moment, man. It was just a special moment.
Anything and everything is possible right now because of the trade
Transfer
window
portal.
or whatever. Anything is possible. You know, it's impossible to see the greener pasture. It's tougher to see the other side right now because we're focused only on what their environment has to give them, right?
True.
But their environment can change literally overnight. If Finn Balor goes to SmackDown, we see this stuff going on with Finn Balor and like the petty back and forth with him and the rest of the members of the Judgment Day. But Damian Priest, like, I feel like the sky's the limit because if he gets transferred to a different show, then it's then he gets to start with a clean slate. And funny enough, Sancho, I think they both need a clean slate. I think they both need to be done with this feud, over and done with. Let's move on. This didn't work for anybody. Fans don't like it. Like you said, you suck, you both suck. Let's just end this so that we can send you to one show, keep you separate from each other, and start anew.
So suck separately.
You can suck here, I'll suck there, and then we're sucking worldwide.
But that's the thing that I don't understand, because for me, the bloodline is always the cap for most wrestlers. It's the ceiling that is so hard to break. And if LA Knight, who's on a meteoric rise, couldn't break through the bloodline, slow down. There's no way Finn and Damian could break through the bloodline. Don't make that gesture. There's no way that if Damian's on the same team as the bloodline, can he break through the bloodline? No. Is Finn is on the same thing as bloodline? Can he break through the bloodline? No. There's not that's just a fact of life. Yeah, you can't get through the bloodline. All roads in with Roman.
What if the bloodline also changes shows?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. If Damian is on the same thing, if all of a sudden he's now dealing with the bloodline, is it going to be now Damian feuding with the bloodline? Is it going to be Finn teaming up with the bloodline? I mean, we already saw them interact with each other when they were Judgment Day, and they were like with Paul Heyman, the authorized type of moment, but I don't know, dude. Authorized. I don't know what's the future. How can you fix Damian and Finn? I thought the tag team titles would be a great thing for Finn and JD, but they just were never on TV wrestling because the 2-hour Raw limited them completely. And Damian Priest took I'm sorry, man. Saturday Night Main Event was a bad L for Damian to take so easily.
I can tell you how to fix this.
Okay, I'm strapped in.
All right. So first, what you need to do is you need to break into a Chinese nuclear facility and steal the plutonium. All right, you take the plutonium and then you hire a really smart dude to build you a time machine. You take that time machine and you go back to right after SummerSlam and you scream in Triple H's face, make Damian versus Finn Balor happen at Bash in Berlin. Do not wait a month and a half to make this happen at Bad Blood. Because if you do that, you're going to have Finn lose, and then the feud's over. All right? Make it happen at Bash in Berlin and have Finn Balor win. That's how you fix this feud. That means the feud is already fucked, Sancho. It's been screwed. It sucks. It can't be fixed. It was already ruined so long ago when they didn't pull the trigger immediately after SummerSlam on something interesting. They decided to basically just hold their dick for a while and do this what are they called again? The Terror Twins thing. Remember, they did the Terror Twins thing for like 2 months before they allowed Finn and Damian to actually have a match. And then the match was underwhelming. You know what's funny, Sancho? That underwhelming match would have been a lot easier to forgive and a lot easier to say, let me see what they've got for match 2. Had that happened 3 weeks after SummerSlam. But we're talking, they gave us an underwhelming match 2 months after SummerSlam. And that after that happened, the interest of everyone in this feud was rock bottom. And then what did they do? Instead of like immediately like, hey, let's fix this right away. Guess what they did? Another 2-month hiatus for them to repeat the same bullshit that they did at SummerSlam, only way worse and less impactful. To then have a match that now no one cares about, because now we're talking 6 months after what happened at SummerSlam.
Okay, how do we fix this?
You can't, is what I'm telling you. You can't. It's cooked. This thing's done. This is a train that I'm off. I'm off of it, brother.
Okay. You're forgetting one piece of the pie here, brother. One piece of the pie that's just been chilling. Dirty Dominic Mysterio. This is the catalyst point to get off the Finn train for Dom. It's been the thing that he's been saying, oh, I got one over Damian. You did it. You didn't have a good chance. It took you. There's two of you, both of you. Couldn't get the job done against Gunther. Here we are. It's Dom's time. It's the thing that's we are giving the I guess the we are the energy is not created or destroyed, my friend. Am I right? That's a known fact of life, brother.
That's the laws of thermodynamics.
It's the law of thermodynamics. You cannot create or destroy energy, but you can transfer it. So the energy that's been lost of Finn and Damian, my friend, is going to be transferred over to Dominic Mysterio, and he's going to jettison himself. You know, it's like one of those space thrillers where they got to reach a certain way, and we don't have enough boost. You got to use this little air thing. That's Dominic Mysterio. And he's going to scoot all in right into the safe side, brother.
It's like just having a bunch of crappy ingredients, but then somehow making a good dish out of these crappy ingredients. Or taking a bunch of leftovers that individually suck.
It's a Cobb
just
salad.
Like how Damian, how Damian and Finn individually suck. But you make this into a Dom salad.
Yeah.
And now, you know, that there could be something there.
But
that's not fixing Damian and Finn. That's admitting. No. That is admitting that Damian and Finn suck so much that we're gonna use it to build something else. But that's not fixing
Isn't that
Damian
wrestling 101 though?
Not always, especially when we have two world champions that can't make something work.
Was the Wiggles the John Cena of your era with the fruit salad?
The Wiggles. I wasn't huge into the Wiggles.
Mm.
The childhood, like when I was a kid, like I would say the Cenas are definitely the Teletubbies. Yeah, dude, Teletubbies was all over the place.
I mean, it's funny that John Cena's t-shirts look like Teletubbies. Did you take any of your John Cena shirts to Colombia?
I did. I took two. I took two.
You folded it and then you put it in your little carry-on.
And it's the green one and the red one. And I think there's a green and red Teletubby. There's a couple more topics here. I think these are quick ones.
Could Cena save Damian and Finn?
No.
Wow.
No. I think Damian and Finn is done. I'm over it.
Okay.
You know who else some people might think? Some people are over this dude. Joe Hendry. You know, a couple months ago, Joe Hendry was all everyone could talk about. Yep. Joe Hendry in the Rumble is everything everyone could talk about.
Yep.
Does the prospect of Joe Hendry at this year's Rumble, does it get your loins going?
No. I think if Joe Hendry won the NXT title, and I think if Joe Hendry had a longer burn there, perhaps. I think the WWE crescendoed or popped Joe Hendry too early. Mad early. I don't think they understood what they were dealing with. Like, Joe Hendry was a brush fire in that it just turned into this crazy phenomenon, and it took over wrestling everywhere, all the promotions, and I think they jumped on that train so hard that it just ruined the opportunity. Imagine if Joe Hendry never appeared on NXT. Never appeared. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, say his name at Royal Rumble. Whoo!
Oh, so here's the thing. I disagree.
Really?
And yeah, no. Hear me out. I disagree because I feel like when WWE pulled the trigger, and I don't think that I feel like they pulled the trigger at the right time. They just didn't pull the trigger all the way, right? They weren't willing to let this outsider win their big thing. But that was a height of his popularity. I look at his popularity now, and it's nowhere near what it was then. And funny enough, Sancho, I don't think it's because the WWE didn't pull the trigger on him. I think it's because TNA didn't pull the trigger on him, refusing to give him the TNA World Title at the height of his popularity. Interestingly enough, I somehow think that NXT and WWE capitalized more on Joe Hendry's popularity than TNA somehow didn't.
It's because he's going to leave.
TNA should have absolutely already given this guy the world title.
He's going to leave. And I think TNA is afraid of that. I think TNA did. It's kind of like a relationship. They didn't feel like they didn't want to get screwed over by giving WWE everything. And Joe Hendry was that everything to them. And if they would have gave him their TNA champion at the Rumble, and I don't know. I kind of disagree with you in there because Jordan Grace seemingly came out of nowhere, and that could have been the Jordan Grace type of pop for Joe Hendry, but it would have been louder.
Joe Hendry was popular like nothing else before, right? Like
True.
Like the popularity of him and Jordan Grace cannot be matched. Like Joe Hendry was like main roster WrestleMania popular, working the indies in TNA. That's insane. The popularity can't even be measured. I think the name of Jordan Grace carries a lot more weight than Joe Hendry, in my opinion. I will say that. But I just think that, like, in terms of timings, when I see that Joe Hendry, like, the song was everywhere, that's when WWE pulled the trigger and TNA somehow didn't.
I know how to save him. Give him a long burn at Rumble. A really long burn. Have him eliminate someone big. A main roster guy. Maybe a knock. Oh, no. As someone has been watching Royal Rumbles, I would hate that. Good Lord. Unless you're going to have him feud with Drew. But imagine if you eliminated Nakamura. Like, that'd be a great jumping off point, because then Nakamura, that'd be cool for them to blend the lines. But I just feel like the reason why I wanted
would we get an AI Joe Hendry in Nakamura's angry Japanese samurai Bushido segments?
I was thinking of more Joe Hendry making a song about Nakamura. Like, that's where I was heading for that. But
would that land?
Yes, it would.
With this Nakamura?
Oh, I don't know.
No, it wouldn't.
I mean,
it wouldn't land. It wouldn't land.
Okay, so the reason why I brought this up, because I was scratching my head. I was like, where has Joe Hendry been? I haven't really seen him on my timeline pop up in terms of just like a viral clip or here and there. Maybe I'm not looking hard enough, but I've seen more like buzz behind Josh Alexander, buzz behind Moose. Like, these are the kind of things I've been hearing about. Nick Namath, of course, AJ Francis as well. But Joe Hendry, it's not the same fevered pitch for him to be in the WWE. There's not like, ooh, who's going to be the mystery partner? It could be Joe Hendry. It was literally that for weeks. For weeks and weeks.
I remember everyone was disappointed with NXT Battleground, which was a fine show, but people called it bad because Joe Hendry didn't make his debut there.
Yeah, that's
the level of popularity that he had, and the level of, like, I hope he comes out feeling that he was giving people.
And then he was on NXT a lot, right? He was just almost every week. But now he's not around, and now I don't know. Like, I think he is going to be in the Rumble. I still think it'll be a great pop. People will be hype if you know. It's like one of those if you know him type of thing. And there's going to be people who I feel like Royal Rumble is probably the second most watched show from a casual fan. If I had to pick, there's Mania and then Royal Rumble. Those are the ones you kind of watch because there's something fun about the 30-man Royal Rumble or the 30-woman Royal Rumble. It's a fun gimmick match, and you could have it on the background like, oh my God, who's Joe Hendry? Oh, this is a guy from TNA. It would be that. That's kind of vibe. But if he goes long in the Rumble, I'm thinking like an AJ Styles type of run. I think he'd be back.
Say his name and he appears.
How long did AJ go in his debut? He went like he went to the final four,
by
right?
the time. No. He got eliminated well before that by Kevin Owens. I remember because then Kevin Owens did the celebration. He was like in the 20s. I think like, even though he came out number 3, he got eliminated in the 20s.
I think Kevin Owens said like something like "Welcome to the big leagues" or something like that.
Oof.
Let me see.
Let's wrap this up. There's a couple more things that I want to chat about. Did you see Big Boom AJ having his once in a lifetime stare down with MJF? Look, okay. So I've been a big defender of, and you've heard me defend him, right? Defending Big Boom AJ from the haters, saying that like he's ruined the seriousness of AEW that is a joke. But like, dude, like the match against QT Marshall was such a like not important match that was just fun.
Before we jump on that,
MJF, however, that's freaking nuts.
it is.
That might be where I draw the line. You made a great comparison of what the WWE version of this would be. I don't want to steal your thunder. I want you to tell the people what you said the WWE equivalent would be.
It would be as if after the Mania, it would have been Johnny Knoxville stepping up to Roman Reigns and having a stare down with Roman and not backing down, not cowering in any kind of way. Because when Big AJ got in MJF's face, well, it was like an indie promotion somewhere. And forgive me, I don't know where it was. But he's like was talking to him. I was like, dang.
Dude,
is Big AJ about to throw down with MJF? Like legit? Because it was solid. But what a cool thing, though. I mean, he did it in his boot, too. He was wearing a boot because of his injury. But
dude, Big AJ was in like the presser for All In. I think he's going to have a match at All In.
I think the only reason why you would have, like, okay, people put down your pitchforks if you're an AEW fan or WWE fan.
Goldberg versus Big AJ.
No. People already. The only reason why you would have a Big AJ versus MJF match, if they were going to do it, is to make MJF a bigger heel, like
the
to fuel
worst,
the fire, right? Because what MJF thrives on, and what MJF is biggest catalyst in his career, is him being a heel to children. For some reason, anytime something goes viral on anywhere, the clips and things of that sort, he gets clipped the most when he is mean to fans outside of the ring or outside of a show. When he's doing meet and greets and things of that sort, throwing the WWE belt on the ground, being rude to children who are like seeming fans of him, like that is where MJF at his best. And who is the number one target in Big AJ's camp? Who would be the big?
I mean, it'd be the two kids, right? It'd be the Rizzler. And for audio listeners, we're doing the Riz face, okay, in case you were wondering. And of course, Big Justice.
And that would be the biggest fuel for them. And I honestly, I'm really putting on my tinfoil hat. Why would they have the stare down, right? It's such a dumb stare down to have, to be honest with you, but why would they have it? What is seemingly around the corner for MJF?
I don't know.
Grown Ups 2. Like, what movie is he in? Oh, Happy Gilmore 2.
That's what it is. Yeah,
That's what it is, right? That's around the corner. And what a bigger promotion to have than the Costco guys who have millions and millions of followers. Man, money talks, dude. And that would be a big get for MJF to get that crowd interested into Happy Gilmore 2.
Hey, look, I would be a huge hypocrite if I didn't say I was at least intrigued in this, considering how much I've been defending the Costco guys. I'm just saying, if there's a line, they might be at it. They might. MJF is AEW's biggest name. It is. It's not Ospreay.
He's
it's
the poster
not
boy.
Danielson. It's MJF. Like, MJF is the AEW dude. He is. So this frig, dude. This might be a stretch. This might be a stretch. This one might be hard to defend.
I could defend it because it's wrestling. That's the great thing about pro wrestling. Anything can happen. It doesn't have to happen in AEW ring, for crying out loud. I'm not talking about it all in.
And no, people would. That would be an NA. That would bring so many eyeballs. That would definitely be an NA.
Not gonna. No.
Yeah, dude. Yes,
I see it in an indie crowd. You would put Big AJ versus MJF at main event All In.
Don't put words
Wembley. That's what I'm asking. I'm here to uncover the truth.
First of all, it's not in Wembley this year. It's in Texas. It's at the Rangers Stadium. Anyways, here's the thing. Big AJ, he's a draw. He is. He is a draw. And he signed with AEW. He's not signed with these indies. He doesn't do indie shows.
Well, it happened at an indie show, though.
I know, the face-off and whatnot, but that is unironically, Sancho, a huge match. And there's no way that AEW, that has a declining viewership right now, is not going to garner those eyeballs.
Timeout.
That's going to be on an AEW show, dude.
I have a problem with this community. right here, right now, you're watching, you're listening, and you have your little comment chat open, you got your little keyboard, you're on your phone right now, you're going to let this man right in front of me get away with saying that big AJ and MJF should happen in the AEW pay-per-view when I bring up Gunther versus Goldberg and you roast me in the comments as something that the WWE has set up in a way at Bad Blood that would make sense, and Goldberg has a retirement match down the corner. You are not gonna roast this man. Oh, he's wrestling. I could tell. Oh, okay. All right.
Here's the thing, Sancho. I don't think that this should happen. I'm saying if it is going to happen, if they're gonna go down this route, I'm telling you it's gonna happen at an AEW pay-per-view. I'm certain of it.
My man went from QT Marshall,
Yep.
a pre-show match with QT Marshall, into a champ for the belt.
I mean, MJF isn't holding a belt, but I think so. Yeah, I think it's going to be at a pay-per-view.
Is it a squash match? No,
I would want it to be a squash
won't be
match.
because it's an AEW match. They're gonna give AJ offense.
He's just gonna be Canadian destroying MJF. They're just gonna no sell it.
It would be AJ hits his finisher, and you think that MJF is going to lose, and it's going to be their Hogan Rock moment for a split second. Where are you going? Where are you going? That's what
you cannot sit here
Dude,
with a straight face.
You brother, you did this to me.
All I did was say that it could happen at a pay-per-view, and you sat here and compared it to Rock Hogan. You are a menace.
Wow. This is what you do.
What is your problem?
You deflect your little ideas, and you Aikido it. And now the hate's gonna come to Steven Seagal ass. Now all of a sudden it's on me. Hey
man, no one forced you to compare it to Rock.
Wait. You're not gonna tell me right here, right now, with a straight face, that if that moment, if AJ hit his, what does he have? A sit out power bomb, right? It's a nice sit out.
Yeah, the power boom.
Power boom. If he hit MJF right off the rip with a power boom, and that 2 count would not be the biggest pop of that night.
What would you compare it to, Sancho? Tell us.
Be Hogan Rock-esque, dude. Icon versus icon. I just say it, dude. AJ, he needs that moment where he's like, oh my God, he almost did it. Like this dad, it'd be like Rocky Balboa, dude, almost getting the knockout punch. It'd be like Jake Paul and Mike Tyson for that split second that we never got with Mike Tyson.
It would be Santino about to win the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, it would be Santino in the Elimination Chamber against Daniel Bryan.
Yeah, against Daniel Bryan, yeah.
Cobra! Boom! Someone has never kicked out. Boom! Oh, and you're like,
yep.
Oh, pin him, Santino.
Right.
Goosebumps. I still get goosebumps from that moment.
It was good.
Okay, that's a better comparison of AJ and MJF. Santino.
Thank you. I'm glad I was able to talk you off of this cliff. Of The Rock and a Hogan, bro. Dude, you know that out of everything that we've talked about, this is what the comments are going to be about. You know that this is what the comments are going to be about.
And they would all fall for my plan of engagement. What can I say? Algorithms, yes. Feed me. That's my best comeback. Honestly, when someone's like, going back and forth, I'm like, thanks for feeding the algo. And then it stops. It always stops. I go, thanks for feeding the algorithm. Yes. Yeah.
How long are we into this podcast?
Close to 2 hours. Not bad. We're pretty good.
Not bad. Should we start to wrap this up?
I kind of want to do a quick thing.
Okay, you tell me.
Early predictions.
You can do whatever you want.
Ooh, early predictions for the Royal Rumble in a sense of just throw out a name that's going to be in the Rumble, and then we're gonna go down the list and see who gets them like all right. I throw a name. We'll just do men's today. Xavier Woods will be in the Rumble.
Oh, I thought we were gonna do stuff that was actually like I was gonna say like Ricky Starks.
I'm picking a safe pick. I'm starting with Xavier Woods.
That's so lame. Fine. All right. Fine. I can play that game.
We're gonna do this. We're gonna do all this to the Rumble. We got lots of time.
Drew McIntyre.
Okay. I want to write down your names. Xavier Woods.
So what are we gonna say? Like 5 names every episode?
No, just one.
Oh, just one. Okay.
Yeah. It's a fun thing to play, right? And then once again,
we reached here.
no. What I want to do is like a fantasy. You know, if your name is in, you get +1. But if you throw a name that's not in the promotion, you get it right. That's +3. Sure. So I could have said Joe Hendry. But
and then if you get 3 wrong, that's 3 strikes. You know what that means, right? That's a touchdown.
I thought you were gonna say something much more nefarious. Now, folks, this is the part of the show. It's called the new Heat Order. We talked about who is the ones that we're excited to watch. This is a very, very pristine list. Very, very pristine. This list goes back, I don't know, almost a year now, right? Generations passed down on tablets. And we want to thank you so much for your support. We didn't even do the Patreon plug. Patreon.com/Santi's app. Please join us. $5 to $10 to $15. $5 gets you in the door. You get exclusive access to so many things. We have over 140 episodes on Match Club. There's a lot of people that message me and say, hey, where's all the Match Club? It's in collections. You go to the tab, you'll see it there, collections, and they're all there. And if you miss them, you could get it. Because there's some people like, hey, you guys don't do AEW. Like, because we did the big AJ match recently. And they're like, that's the only AEW match. I was like, no, my friend. There's a lot in the collections that you could go down. We have the Royal Rumble review. We have the Taker Mania, which is going to come back when Santi comes back from vacation. I know a lot of people were asking where's Undertaker stuff. It's going to come back. He's just doing his thing in Colombia, right? Yeah, he's still there. He's not kidnapped, by the way.
Thank you for confirming that. That's been the top comment of like all of my YouTube videos.
And it will be this one. I'm just trying to bury the Hogan Rock thing. Here is the list previously. Number 10, Drew Mack. Number 9, Liv Morgan. Number 8, Rhea Ripley. Number 7, Seth Rollins. Number 6, CM Punk. Number 5, Kevin Owens. Number 4, Io Sky. Number 3, The New Bloodline. Number 2, DIY. And number 1, New Day. Now, what I did not like a DIY, did not like their black and white promo because it was very forced. And Gargano, as a tough guy, doesn't come off that way.
They got him wrong. That's not the heel he should be.
He should be more of a slimy heel.
Yes. Oh my God. When he's just like, well, that worked.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted.
Not the one like I'm gonna be in there like. I was like, and then he did his acronym, be the best. I was like, I'm out.
Too many letters.
Too many letters.
If it ain't B.O.B., I'm not here for it.
Bob the Builder's the radio generation. I just see
Dude,
like
honestly, these shows sometimes when we do them so late at night, this is where the gems are. Just like the pockets of brilliance. Like Bob the Builder is the Randy Orton of children's television. Come, bro, that's just comedy gold.
I just see the clip of the Santi out of context. It's like the picture of Bob the Builder, and then it's like, I hear voices in my head. Just zooms in slowly. They talk to me. Or they could do the watch out, and Bob the Builder RKOing somebody. All right. New Day, I'm surprised they haven't really done anything beyond what they're doing. Like they're kind of like saving them for these backstage vignettes. I thought that on Saturday Night Main Event, I was like, what a wasted opportunity just to bring them out. And then just
that crowd was hot. They would have booed the hell out of them.
That's the one thing I tweeted that out too. I was like, man, imagine if New Day came out in Saturday Night Main Event. That New York crowd, that Long Island crowd, would have just gave it to them like hard,
giving them the business.
He's giving him the business. That's my favorite thing to say when I'm casting Fortnite. Giving him the business.
All right, so where are we? Who do you think should be number 1? KO? No, Chelsea Green. Can we give it to Chelsea Green? Can we just give it to Chelsea Green, number 1?
Chelsea, I cannot wait for SmackDown. I hope it starts with a celebration of Chelsea Green.
Well, it can't because it was pre-taped.
Oh, it is?
Right?
Sad,
so, I mean, it could be a pre-taped vignette, but that's not. But I wanted like a full confetti celebration.
I want Apollo Creed type of vibes, dude. Coming in America.
We can't get it. We cannot get it.
But no, tomorrow, Chelsea Green will be the longest reigning United States Women's Champion.
That's true.
Number 2. Excuse me. A little burp.
There, we should probably do KO. Kevin
Owens, yeah. It's interesting that I think Kevin Owens has used that was his finisher, right? In the Indies, the small package driver, the package pile driver.
I think. Yeah.
Let's see, number 3. Gunther. Looked very strong. Destroyed Judgment Day.
He looked great. He looked
great.
great.
Great guy.
I know, great. He's a great guy. Yeah, let's put Gunther there.
Gunther.
4 or 5. Could we do like Rollins and Punk here?
Ooh, I'm gonna put CM Punk still over because like
I would agree.
His command of the microphone is on a next level. I really do feel that he is much watched television, and he's not. I didn't know what kind of CM Punk I would get, but it just shows you if you're good on the mic, you could wrestle. You could be in this business for a long time. And his wrestling is still good. Like it's not out of this world, but it's still serviceable. Like solid work. Like I think him and Seth Rollins are gonna put on an awesome match. Like a little bit more high flying than Drew and him, but there's gonna be some good stuff. I didn't
like New Bloodline, like beating, destroying LA Knight. Solo's got the match against Roman coming up.
I feel like Solo.
Look, this is a weak week.
I know it's a very weak week. I'll put Solo Sikoa. I'm trying to think, because like Rhea Ripley didn't do much. She had a great promo on Raw though. That's for sure.
I know that like it was but like War Raiders.
Yeah, I kind of skipped over that. I want to bring that back. I feel like they weren't ready for this.
I know, but like, here's the thing: the titles, they needed to be off of the.
Yeah, but didn't you? Do you sound like a broken record? We said that so many times. They need to be off the bloodline.
I know, but at the very least, this is a clean slate. They can't be worse. That's the thing. They can't be worse.
Yeah.
And at least now they're a babyface, and there's a heel New Day around the corner. I'm just saying. All I'm saying is at least now it feels like there's a light at the end of the tunnel. Meanwhile, it just felt like we were in the abyss with the Judgment Day.
Yeah, but wouldn't it felt interesting if the New Day cost the War Raiders their belt, and they're like struck a deal with Finn and JD?
No, because these guys see themselves as the baby faces still.
Ooh.
Kofi and Xavier don't see themselves as the bad guys.
I love how they're just wearing these fur coats and like, what's up, man? You don't want me in the locker room? What's going on, dude? Oh, after all these 10 years, now you want me?
Can I point out something ridiculous?
Yeah, point it out.
Why'd they need to go in the locker room to change if they didn't have a match? Woo!
They got to put their stuff down somewhere.
That's it. They just needed to put their stuff down.
Why
are they there?
You can't leave it out in the ramp somewhere.
Why are they there? They didn't have a match.
Didn't they have a dark match? Was it pre-taped?
Yeah, but none of that is canon yet.
And then they came around, and that's since I'm the locker room
And then
leader.
I told them, you guys don't even have a match.
He looked like Pepto Bismol. He was all pink. Number 8. Here's the list so far.
Burger King foot lettuce.
Number 8. There's the list, and then this is what we have last week here.
You know the Burger King foot lettuce meme?
No.
Number 15. Burger King foot lettuce. The last thing you ever want is someone's foot in your burger.
You know what's interesting? I went back and watched one of our shorts about Subway. I'm still mad at you. You should tip your Subway orders.
Do not ever tip anybody that works for a corporate restaurant like Subway. That is fast food. Don't make me sound like an Animal Crossing character.
Yes, you do.
I do not sound like an Animal Crossing character.
That's you. Number 8. Any love for Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, Drew McIntyre?
Drew.
Okay. Drew. I like it. I like it a lot.
For number 10, we praised them. Would you, for just this week, would you consider Bobby not Bobby the Brain Heenan,
Jesse
Ventura?
Yeah, I like Jesse. No doubt.
It's a weak week.
Jesse the Body.
You see that, like the Damian the Snake joke went completely over Michael Cole and Pat McAfee's head. So they asked him about his like snake vest that he had, and he's like, "Yeah, I made
Oh,
it for Damian.
Jake the Snake.
And everybody's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
oh, they're like, oh, what, Damian? What? Yeah, like Jake the Snake. And they're
Yeah,
like,
Dave.
oh.
I would be, dude, that would be so embarrassing. Like, pfft. I would be like Jesse, like, you call yourself professionals.
Dude, yeah, it would have been like Hulk Hogan on Logan Paul's podcast. It's a shoot, brother. It's a what?
Isn't it crazy that Logan Paul said he retired and now he's advertised the show?
No, they're literally showing him in the advertisements to Raw. He's just trolling.
He's a big troll. You guys need to learn. If this is your first time dealing with Logan Paul, he does things for clicks, and he's good at it. Really good at it. Brother, I mean, Liv Morgan at 9. I mean, look great. Saturday Night Main Event.
Yeah, give me Liv Morgan. She looked great.
Show me potato salad. Remember that meme?
John Cena and the potato salad?
No. From,
Wait, do you not know about John Cena and the potato salad?
But you do not know about Family Guy potato salad?
Yeah, but at least mine's related to wrestling.
Family Guy's related to everything.
That's true.
But what's yours? What's John Cena and the potato salad?
If you go to our potato salad, like the subreddit,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a bunch of pictures of John Cena. And if you go to our John Cena, it's just a bunch of pictures of potato salad.
That's not true. I'll look this up right now. R. John Cena. Post your pictures and recipes of John Cena, a delicious potato-based side dish.
Told you. Now go to our potato salad.
Okay, this is our potato salad. I always feel like I hate typing in person.
You're like 2 hours in, brother. It's fine.
Yeah.
Just
Potato
it's just a
salad.
bunch of Cenas, right?
Potato salad pays for strangers' groceries, then goes for the pick. Oh, dude, you know what's crazy?
The internet.
When you walk up to John Cena, what would you do? You see John Cena out and about, and he's shopping for potatoes. He's in his grocery, he's chilling. He maybe has a little earbud in his ear.
I leave him alone.
You just leave him. Do you observe him like an animal from a distance?
I would observe him from a distance. I would sneak photos. I 100%
No, he would catch you. He has that.
Would he do that? Oh, that'd be so embarrassing to me.
He would walk up to you and go, "Excuse me, did you?" He would go, "That's very rude," and your soul would crush. And
Ralph Wiggum.
Yeah.
Heart just melted.
That'd be you, dude.
I know. I don't want to meet John Cena ever.
Ever?
I don't want to meet him.
You want to keep it
Don't
pure?
meet your heroes.
You want
I want to keep it pure.
But you met me.
It's a colossal disappointment. I was impressed by how long your arms were. That was like your biggest selling point.
I give good hugs, don't I?
He does.
Thank you. Because my arms wrap around you.
You
You know what the trick to a good hug? Last thing.
Please tell me.
You see this right here? The shoulder blade? If you could just barely, just a little bit, it's a good hug. You can feel it just. Why are you acting like it's a creepy thing? This just
it's
right.
So creepy.
It's not creepy.
It's so creepy.
Give a good hug to your significant other. Everyone out there, right here.
That's so creepy.
Why
I don't know why. It just
it's not.
That you have like hug pressure points on someone's.
That's only
clavicle.
one place right here. The shoulder blades, not on top of the shoulder, not on the delt. Right here, dude. Right here.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for listening or watching this midnight or 1:30 a.m. in the morning episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast. Sancho is still trying to prove that he's not creepy with his calculated
dude, you
hugs.
don't go down underneath around the waist. Now that's a bad hug, brother. You don't want that. You don't go over the shoulders.
No, you go into the crevices of their shoulder blades.
Right here, right where it's not the crevice. I'm not talking about dig in there. I'm talking about like right where it bends. Like right where it starts to fold, right here, bam. Just a light, like that. And you know what? I gave you one of those and you didn't even know it. That's how good of a hug it was.
No, I walked out and I was like, yo, this guy was all in my shoulder blades. What's up? Thank you for watching this episode of the Wrestling is Cool podcast, coolest wrestling podcast on
I'm a
the
Bailey
planet.
hugger. Come here.
Oh, A special shout out goes out to our $15 patrons. They are our producers of the show, and as such, do get their names read out.
That's
here
all
at
it
the end
was
of
to
the
you,
episode.
long arms. I hate you. Oh, here's the list.
Yeah.
Of new heat order. There you go.
Oh, that's right.
Number 10, Jesse the Body. Number 9, Liv Morgan. Number 8, Drew Mack. Number 7, War Raiders. Number 6, Solo Sikoa. Number 5, Seth Rollins. Number 4, CM Punk. Number 3, Gunther. Number 2, Kevin Owens. And number 1, Chelsea Green. I folded when Stephanie McMahon was in the room. I did not go up to her. I was too scared.
I don't blame you, dude.
But
That's a powerful person.
I did talk to Rhea and Damian.
Did you have a meaningful conversation with them?
I told them they look awesome in white attire. What else am I gonna tell them? What else am I gonna say to
I don't know, man.
To
Be
Rhea
interesting.
Ripley? Oh, dude,
You tell them about your hug.
dude, Rhea Ripley's shoulders are just
Yeah, dude, she's got
boulders.
ball shoulders.
Yes. I was
Beast.
like, this person is stacked.
So a special thank you goes out to Sancho Mania Running Wild, FU Santi on First, Nick Harvey, 2022 Benjamin, Aaron Garcia, Akira Kemp, Akai is gone, Alejandro, Alex Rigel, Alex, Alan Crockett, Anita Maxwin, Anthony, Ashley, Asperlitz, Ozzy Kingslayer, Austin Baker, Austin Gregory.
What would
Austin
you
Pierce
ask them?
Theorist, R.I.P. Matt Pat.
He's not
Authentic
dead.
Chocolate.
What would you ask Rhea Ripley? Legit. What would you ask them?
I mean, I'd probably ask them like,
What's your favorite?
What do you-
What's your favorite thing to drink out here?
no, I'd be like, you guys like fruit? Dude, you can start so many conversations from that. I'd be like, hey, no, honestly, maybe I'd be like, okay, like, what is your favorite childhood character? They'd say whatever. I'm like, okay, now give them a WWE equivalent. See if they come up with Randy Orton as Bob the Builder. Dude, let me finish this. I need to go to bed.
What's your favorite
Bailey
fruit?
Fuller, Bailey Saunders, Batsy, Ben Calloway, Ben
Oh, mine's an
Farton,
apple.
Barry, Be Hostile,
Oh,
Big
yours an
Poppy
apple,
Sasquatch,
mine's an apple.
Big Shy,
What do you
Blast
got an
Pass,
apple?
Bluebot,
Oh, I'm a Fuji
Bluefish,
apple.
Brad,
Oh, Fuji
Brady
apple. That's pretty
Keaton,
good.
Brandon, Fry Guy, Bryce Burt,
What about
Bunker
cranny
Jonesy,
apples?
WWE,
Oh, cranny
Caleb
apples are
Lee,
awful.
Callis Kevin, Cameron Noel, Cameron Talks WWE, Carlos Gonzalez, CB, changed my name because Santi can't say Dutch words, Chew Poppy, Chim Char's Collectibles, Chris Butner Lucas, Chris Harris, Christian Billick, Christian G, CM Puff, Colin O'Malley, Colin Roach, Connor Williamson, Daniel Hu, Dark Flame, DJ Broadnax, Dorian Best, Drew Bargum. I definitely said that wrong. I'm sorry. Dumsky, Dyer, Delph, Heilfire, Dylan Kana, El Jochi, Emmanuel Holmes, Eric Abuelna, Aaron Thorne, Isaj holding a fart, Fletcher Walpole, Floating, Forever Wrestling, Franklin L. Everett, Gabe Meraz, Gamerscape, George Valdez, Gilbert Deans, Goofy Goober, GXA Man, Heartfelt, Hoodie Cam, I Miss Jerry Show, Issa David, It's Mista, Jack Gibley, Jackson, Jacob Pena, Jacob Staffel, Jacoda Gamblin, Jaden Jada, Jake Chavoya, James Brian Balago, Jassim Alcazar, Javier Rodriguez, Jalen Steele, Jeremiah, Jesse Gibson, Jesse, Joe Velez, Joey Romig, Jolly Green Giant, Jordan Lynch, Jordy Marte, Josby, Jose Santi's cousin, Joseph Pointer, Josh Sutton, JR, Juan Verdusco, Judson Daniels, Juicy J153, Justin Courtright, Justin Perkins, Caden Rivers. Kansas City Chiefs are the Roman Reigns of the NFL. Yeah, well, Bob the Builder, Steve Randy, okay. Caden Burgess, Ken Dean, Kisses, Kuwaiti Rigboogs, Lil Shifu, Luke Parker, Luke Sika, Manly Man, Manny IDK, Marnie YCSM, Matthew Dollar, Matthew Feth, Matthew Osberg, Matthew Watkins, Max Dupree, Mekki, Michael Purnell, Miguel Paredes, Michael Rada, Mitchell Harris, Mitchell X, Muhammad Albanai, Monte Moore, Nathaniel Stevenson, Neb, Nellen Zach, Nicholas Kyle, Obi, Osama Awad, Pat R, Pat McMark, Pim, Brody, Kulo, Park Fan, Puppet puppet spanker.
Can I think of
Dude, could you imagine? Oh, you've been a naughty puppet.
Stop it. I was thinking of Night of the Living Dummy. You remember those Goosebumps books? Oh God.
A quitch.
Yeah, I want to get through this. I want to read.
I mean, I'm just saying, like the concept of like maybe your puppet talked, out of line, so you're like, take a seat. It's time to get spanked.
Oh, what's your favorite fruit, Rhea? Oh.
Raffle, Reaper God, Ricky Dutcher, Robert Rogers, Rocky B, Riley, Sancho, add me on Fortnite. Doubt it. Dude, how many times a day do you get that?
All the time.
Yeah, dude. Sancho wants that Xavier Wood.
Why do you laugh?
I'm so tired that like I'm mentally not here. Sancho gets Santi to play Fortnite with you. Santi is a bandwagon for these trains, Lamau. Santi looks like the Wish version.
So good.
So dumb. Santi looks like the Wish version of Surge Tankian. Okay, I'm gonna Google this guy real quick.
Oh, I'm tired.
Surge.
Riveting.
Okay, so this guy, dude, I do nothing like this guy. What the? That's ridiculous.
It goes our average.
You should apologize to me. Santi, Sancho Santi, Saudi Rig Boogs, Screamo Scott, Semba, Seth, Shaggy WWE, John Michaels, Right Nostril, Sidney Floyd, Sip God, Sir Nightmare, Skylar Brashears, Slow Toke Rodriguez, Smooth, Solo, I love you, Solo, fuck you, Summer, Spicy Nugget. By the way, we did not talk about the fact that they called that Rhea called Dom a chicky tendy slut.
Aren't we all?
I was gonna say I am as well.
I had tendies today.
Spicy, you little tendy slut. Spicy nuggets, squirt angle. Squirt angle. Stephanie Baker lookalike contest in my bedroom. I feel that, brother. Stone Cold Peach Austin, Stucky, Sugar Shane, Super Malachi Galaxy, the final boss, the first Patreon, I Crazy Dude, the Gaming Freak YouTube. Have you seen Crazy Dude's?
I did. Gilbert
yet?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. Finally.
Yeah, it was good. Did you like it?
I did like it. I've been waiting for you.
He told you to oil up.
I know.
Yeah.
Neaters, the Underdog, the Undertaker's son, the Underwear Taker. DM is a Dutch name which Santi can't say correct. Then don't make it weird, all right? If you got letters that aren't supposed to be pronounced, then don't have them there.
Did you like Old School from Damian? That was kind of cool.
Old School what?
He did Old School at Saturday Main Event. Old School into the Body Splash. That was kind of lit.
I don't even remember that.
You don't remember?
Oh, yeah. No, I do now. Yeah, I did. I remember. Tim Rodriguez, Tobias Burnett. Dude, I'm never doing a podcast this late again.
Oh,
Tom Lehman, Tommy, Treadhead, Tyler Free,
because you suck
Charles,
at reading and you need like 100% brain capacity to read.
Vegan Penguin, Juan Pablo III, Wesley Simpson, White Mexican.
Vegan Penguin does not like me, by the way. I don't know what I did to him. I don't know what I did. He's like, the guy at the bottom talks too much. Sorry, Match Club. I was like, what? I'm talking as much as Santi.
Yo, big old shout at the Vegan Penguin. Don't change, brother. Don't change. With some Kidso, Wo JC, Javier Izquierdo,
These are
Dead
people that pay to hate on me. Why?
Yeah, man. Hey, it is what it is, man. That's the economy. Zach Griffin, Zay2K, and Zerg Zito. Thank you guys very much for sitting through all that. How long was this recording, dude?
Not that long. 2 hours 18. Thank you so much. Check out the Patreon. Patreon.com/SantiZap. Adios. Farewell. Bye.